It's my favorite game too. Guess that caster.
All this participation in chat. They are climbing over each other to type out first what's
Yeah,
going
they
to
are.
happen.
Who it is? Who could it be? Could it be Color's Law? Katie from the Lore Keepers Inn. Garrick from Garrick's Lorcana Lair. JDZ Quest from the Quest World. Or Wonderland of Team Maelstrom.
Or Liam.
Place your bets now.
Or Liam of the Illumineers.
All right, Liam. Of course. How could I forget?
Yeah, it's because you're probably Liam trying to trick chat into thinking you're not Liam. I'm onto your game.
Giving away my secrets.
Fake Liam. I'm onto you. Or real Liam. Who knows? No one knows until the box is opened.
That's exactly right. Till Pandora's box is unleashed and the casters are shown to the world, there's no way to possibly tell.
Yes, could be anyone. Could be a corpse. Could be...
Oh no.
But it's us. It's us. Now they see it. Everyone knows.
It is us.
It's just us. It's just your favorite casters in the world, Garrick and Vandaland.
Yeah. That's the two best heads of hair in the ICL, if I can say that.
I think you can get away with that.
Yeah. But today
Sailor
in the
and Zen
ICL,
have
it is Wednesday, second day of the ICL, and we have a fantastic matchup between Restand and the Flower Farm, which is a whole farm of flowers. You never know who's going to step up for Flower Farm. It is a real movement over there, and their numbers keep growing. You know, there's a million existing and a million more on the way. Shout out to the Flower Farm coming in absolute numbers, but Restand obviously full of many great players as well. I'm super excited for this matchup today on the feature match.
Oh yeah. The only I just really hope that next season, when Flower Farms is most likely joining us, I assume, I just hope JDR joins the squad this time.
Yeah, you gotta get the leader out there to lead the troops into battle, as it were, and inspire the team with his amazing gameplay. Shout out JDRR, one of the best doing it. If you want to get better at Disney Lorcana, and this is not a paid promotion, check out the Flower Farm. Highly recommended. Absolutely great community over there. So many really cool communities in Disney Lorcana being represented here in the ICL. Yeah. Not just like the pro teams, as it were, like World Class Cards, Maelstrom, Restand, etc., but also just amazing communities such as the Flower Farm, the Lorcana Loungers, and the SLTC as well.
Oh yeah. A lot of meta movers here, even if it's not necessarily someone on a team like JDRR. Like, he has, I don't even know if he's played in a single DLC, but his lists have top cut a lot of times. There's been a lot of top cut lists that have been inspired by and or just a straight up copy pasta of JDR's work.
Yeah, of course. He is one of those absolute meta movers. He's up there with the likes of Zan Syed, Sailor, your teammate as well, is one of the big meta movers. Of course, anytime DKP or Ed show something that they're working on, you can see people jumping to play those lists. So shout out to the meta movers. They
Sounds
really,
like a
really
good team name.
Yeah,
probably
meta
is
movers
a team name.
Could be a great team in Disney Lorcana. If all the meta movers joined a single team, it would be a scary roster, that's for sure, if everyone I just named was on a team.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what WCC's already doing. That's super
true.
team, right? Like, those are the scary things. What is Zan's team? Team Secret?
Rare Hunters?
Rare Hunters. I knew it had a rare in it, but like teams like that they're just like, you know what? Let's just invite people who have won a bunch of DLCs and played a world. Sounds like a pretty good idea to get a solid group of fellows there playing. But let's take a gander at some of the people we have playing today. Got Dylan Crowley playing for Restand here. He's gotten first place at SSG Azurite Seas release tournament with 70 people. He got second place at the Reign of Jafars, and then top 8 at an 8 case for Azurite Seas, and then top 8 at a lucky 10K, and then top 16 at CCS 25K event qualifier number 1. And that's the big thing, right? That's the we should have started with that. Like, put that on the top. I mean, maybe you end with the best, right? You're like, boom, top 16 at one of the hardest events that's not a DLC all year round. Just right there, 448 of the best players playing there.
Yeah, absolutely. This is an amazing player card, and I'm sure we will see some awesome DLC finishes out of Dylan sooner rather than later, especially with a resume like this.
Oh yeah.
Up next, we have Raymond from Restand. Top 8 SSG Merlin 10K, top 8 SSG Azurite C release. Really good at making grilled cheese. Beat Wochuk with Ruby Amethyst. Beat Zach Bivens with Ruby Amethyst, and lost to Tiago with Ruby Amethyst. But hey, that's a pretty good resume as well. Especially that grilled cheese. I mean, if you've ever seen the film Chef, if I can go on a small little rabbit hole tangent here, I know we don't have a ton of time. That movie will make you want to eat grilled cheese nonstop every day, all day. And I'm assuming that Raymond makes grilled cheese like that. And I would love to have a Raymond grilled cheese. So Raymond, if you're out there, you're listening.
Bring Garrick a grilled cheese right now.
At DLC Richmond, I better have a grilled cheese in my hand when I see you.
Just like a little grilled cheese cart right in front of the DLC. Like, I want to see it now. I want to see it. And bringing up the third player here for Restand, we've got Mikey Hazed, or Hazed Mikey, whichever you want to go for. The son of a Freedom Gaming player here. We always like to bring up that little thing. A turncoat, a traitor to Freedom Gaming. Swapping teams from a season to another season. But first place Miami TCG Con, top 4 SCG Tampa, and top 8 SSG 15 case.
Yeah,
what do you know about
really
Mikey
strong
here?
Mikey is another one of those players to take a look at and be on the lookout for. I think there are so many amazing players in the ICL that are making a name for themselves here on this program and elsewhere that will be putting up amazing DLC finishes very, very soon. We've seen that at the most recent DLC, some players that maybe you hadn't heard of before the ICL. Shout out Rob from last season, who really showed off the power of Finders Keepers and skyrocketed that card in the last season on ICL.
Oh yeah,
finally broke through, qualified for the North American Championship. So Mikey is another one of those really talented players that I could see getting a qualification here in the upcoming 2 DLCs in North America.
All right, now let's take a gander at the Flower Farms lineup today. Starting off with Matt Elliott. You know, he's a set 8-5 Flower Farm in-house tournament winner. Woo! I wonder if that's how they get to choose who gets to be on the Flower Farm ICL team. You have to win enough of the in-house events. Bubbling himself out of top 8 or top cut for the main event at Axion by taking his first ever ID and going 5-1-1, coming in 17th place. Rough. Consistently changing his deck choice at 1 a.m. the night before an event. I've done that. I've literally...
That is your strategy. That is your... that is what you do.
I like
best.
I like it. You have to have your finger on the pulse of the meta to be able to get away with that. But when you're able to do it, you feel so big-brained. You played in an event the day before. You kind of see what people are playing. Everyone else, they just bring one deck. They already locked in. You have the cards for every deck in the format. You're going to jam until 5 in the morning. You're going to sleep for 2 hours, and you're going to crash out on energy drinks until 10 o'clock at night and then pass out in the lobby of the hotel while your teammates wake you up and tell you got to get to bed for day 2.
That sounds like a very personal and intimate and real story coming from Wonderland there.
Maybe back in the Magic PTQ days when I was younger. I really can't pull those all-nighters like I used to be able to.
Next up, we have Izik from the Flower Farm, top 32 at the Milwaukee DLC, so a North American Championship qualifier here for season number 2 of Disney Lorcana challenges. Top 8 at the Lucky Llama 3K. Never won a set champ. And what is this last thing? So I need to move this thing. Made the team by a coin flip. Now we're learning more about the Flower Farm. Maybe you don't have to win. You just have. They just roll dice or do rock paper scissors and flip coins to see who makes it onto the team.
Yeah, I mean, you can't roll dice or flip coins to see who wins a match, but you can here with your team. All right, next up we've got David Crinch. Top 4 Vegas DLC 8 a.m. competitive event. I'm pretty sure that's a side event if it says 8 a.m. competitive, but that's still quite impressive. That's
Friday
still,
event,
yeah, a couple 100-person event. It's either the Friday or the Sunday event. Both of them have big payouts. I think I got like 12th place or something like that in one of those, and got enough tickets to buy 4 Rapunzels, which at the time were like 150-ish. So
yeah, I can't wait
big
for
payout.
the Richmond Friday event. The Richmond Friday event, and the prizing for that is also really, really nice. So hopefully people show up for that and play in that. And like you said, you'll be there watching, waiting for your moment to strike and change your deck list at the final hour after the Friday event.
Exactly. And David here has been at the top 10 of the Pixelborn leaderboard, the top 10 of the Lorcanito in sets 5 through 8 multiple times, top 8 ETB 3K split, and 12 times set champion.
You're a mean one, Mr. Cringe. A 12
taking all those poor playmats.
Champ. Yeah.
A monster taking those playmats from the kids and everyone at
Exactly.
their set champs. I'm sure it's exactly how it went down every time.
Yeah. Stealing
All
these
right.
set championships away from all the poor who's down in Whoville. Shout out. I love the last name.
Oh, yeah. So let's start with you on predictions of how you think this match might go.
I gotta say the lineups both very convincing on either side. Like I mentioned at the top of the show, really, really good teams here in the ICL. Both teams absolutely stacked. Tonight, though, I think I am going to lean toward the Flower Farm. I think the Flower Farm is going to get it done 2-1. I am going to say they win the first 2 rounds and then also win the third one. Clean sweep. Let's go.
Oh, going for a flower sweep.
Flower sweep, yeah.
Well, speaking of sweeps, I'm pretty sure Restand has already had a few of them this season. Let me double check some standings here. But Restand is in 3rd place. They're only down by a point. And they have already had their off week. Whereas the Lorcana Loungers have not had their off week yet.
Or Flower Farm?
Meaning that they basically could take 2nd place because Lorcana Loungers is in 2nd.
Yep.
Flower Farm is in 7th. While that does seem like a big difference, they're only a 4-point difference between the two of them. But Flower Farm has also not had their off week yet. So it's going to be a little frustrating there. But overall in the matches, Restand has had 1 sweep, 2 sweeps. 2 so far. We'll see if maybe they'll get a 3rd here. You're going for the reverse sweep. They've swept so much that they get swept up themselves. Oof.
Yep.
Oof.
That's I'm hot take from my part today.
All right. You know, I'm gonna say that it'll be the other way. I'm gonna be team Restand sweep again. Sweep-a-roo. So if one team wins round 1 and the other wins round 2, we both lose at this, Garrick. But you know, we just got to go extremes. A reminder to chat that the alerts don't work during the ICL. If you remind me during the normal streaming hours, I'll use that for you. But we're going to pop over here, and the players are going to be able to start whenever the judge is ready. And that'll probably be quite shortly.
Yeah, this should be a really, really cool matchup. We got Dylan going up against Matt here. I don't know if that Diablo is a hint towards anything happening, but we have the Southside Gaming Jafar playmat, which is really, really nice, versus the Ursula Championship playmat. That was the first set championship I played in was Ursula. I was able to get a champion mat, and it is no bias. It's up there. It's one of the best. Ursula and Maleficent, I think, are like top two if I had to make a choice. But we
Yeah.
see a Palace Guard go into the Inkwell. Palace Guard comes down, so it could be a little bit of Ruby Amethyst, could be a little bit of Amethyst Steel. We'll have to wait and see
Oh.
what that second color is. But here is another Amethyst card going to the Inkwell for
Tells
Matt.
me. I'm thinking it's Blurple.
Rafiki.
I'm thinking it's Blurple if it's
Rafiki.
Rafiki.
Yeah, Rafiki screams Blurple, but the flower there screaming more of a mid-range deck.
Yeah, that is true. It kind of go in opposite directions. It does make me feel... Do we need more than 4 hooks? I guess it could be Amethyst Steel. Is it an Am Steel Mirror? Because obviously Dylan's on it with that hook coming down.
Yeah, and that Olaf. That Olaf has been a really, really surprising card. Turns out that bouncing stuff to your hand is still pretty good in Disney Lorcana. It absolutely dominated the first 8 sets, or I guess not the first 8 sets, but sets 2 through 8 with the Madam Mim and Merlin bounce package, which just wreaked havoc everywhere. It is still very powerful. So powerful, in fact, that we will do it with cards that don't even have an ETB. We'll do it with actions like magical maneuvers, or we'll pay 4 to do it with a Madam Mim Elephant. It's just a really strong ability. And the Olaf, I think, uses it really well, as we do see the second ink here, and it is going to be a mirror match.
Ooh!
What do you think of the Rafiki here in Amethyst Steel?
We just need all the hooks, obviously.
Yeah.
It tells me...
Yeah, I mean...
I'm thinking Matt here is probably on 3 or 4 Demona. It tells me that he wants to do that. And he wants to have those 3 strength challengers.
Yeah, that could be the case. We know that the Flower Farm is notorious for Amethyst Steel and Blurple. JDRR moving
Amethyst
the
in
meta
general.
all the time with those colors. But you're right, big Amethyst players over there on the Flower Farm, as Dylan is getting off to a pretty good start here, questing with this Palace Guard, saying go ahead and double challenge into it if you want to. I got a Lexington and a Captain
I'll
Hook.
wipe you right back if you do
something
it.
to say. Yeah, pretty easy, pretty safe quest, I think, here on the side of Dylan.
Yeah, it takes a few tricks to do anything relevant, and at that point, if you're going to be using those types of things just to take out a Palace Guard, like, that's even better for us. Definitely a safe, aggressive, and defensive quest. Kitty cat time. Cheshire Cat is slowly just dominating the mirror, or the meta, I should say. I have seen some discussion on whether or not you should still play Bell, play a split, or none, where the recurability of using Cat over and over while also having a really solid 3-drop to be able to play seems pretty good. Even with Blurple, like before, if you just missed your ramp, you had nothing to do because your only 2-drops were basically ramp and some 1-drops. So if you didn't have a 2-drop play, you're not going to have a turn 3 play most of the time. So Cat kind of gives you something to do on those games that you don't necessarily have the ramp you need. Still not great not having your ramp, but at least it's something.
Yeah, the Cheshire Cat is a really cool card because not only does it have like a pretty good stat line, it's got the 4 willpowers to make use of its boost ability, but obviously it does have that boost, so it could just be a 3-drop that you put down on curve, or it can honestly just be a 5-drop. It comes down and you use the ability in the same turn, basically makes it a 5-drop and gives it a Bell-like qualities. Of course, you're losing 1 lore pip and you are losing 1 damage to move and 1 strength, but you're making up with it with the boost ability and being able to use it more than once. So I really like the Cheshire Cat, as Iago is making an appearance here in Amethyst Steel.
Yeah, I mean, if it's going to be all about the evasive area, that's really good. And if you have Cat, Iago's got a very big willpower to be able to stack some damage up and then move it around later. Ooh, we're singing with the Cat, a strength. I assume we're taking out a Lexington or a Genie. We have Iago, so Genie's not as scary. Yep, the Lexington. That way, once Iago takes out a Genie, the Lexington can't crash back and take it down. But we are just giving away our Cheshire Cat here, which
Yeah.
is interesting. It does trade basically with anything that gets into it. And if Genie, say, puts the damage on it and then we finish it off, like we could send Genie into it and then Olaf to finish off the cat, then bounce the Genie back, replay it, draw another card, pass the turn, and we're still at the same staring at each other, but we've drawn a card, we could ink, and we get closer to that 6 ink Demona period that we might want. The problem, like, we need to get that Demona so we can take out this Rafiki and this Calhoun easily. But really, whichever player plays the Demona first, I think, is in a pretty positive situation, which is kind of funny. Because before it was like, whoever plays the Be Prepared first loses. And now it's like, no, whoever plays this card first wins.
Yeah. Yeah, Demona is really, really interesting like that. And being on the play with these decks that can just curve into her nicely, as we are looking for a deal. And Matt says, I'll give you a deal. My Iago, I value less than you having 2 cards in hand. So the 4/6 makes its way to the bottom of the deck thanks to that Hades card, which has been one of my favorite cards in the game thus far. I think they really knocked it out of the park with Whispers in the Well, especially with the legendaries. It feels really good to open a significant amount of them, which is
Oh,
what
yeah.
you want in your game. You want those legendaries to be exciting, right?
This is probably the best percentage of playable legendaries you can open from a box. Worth money, which is kind of crazy. That said, I still opened most of the bad ones in my product, but you know that
You got all
gambling's
Shere
not
Khans?
for everyone. No, I got all princes and
Oh,
black cauldrons.
yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, there's
Flavorful
like,
win, but
yeah. It looks like we are going to do that play that you mentioned there. We are going to double crash into the Cheshire Cat, bounce the Genie back to play, or sorry, back to hand, and we're going to keep questing with this Palace Guard. Palace Guard, honestly, low key, high key, one of the
very
best
good
cards
right now.
in the game. Like, it's a one drop. Your one drop is going to probably get banished by any sort of removal spell anyway, or sorry, action or song. So the vanish keyword really doesn't matter, right? So it's
Sorry.
just it's a beefy 1/4 that can quest.
Chat got me with its mid key, because that's honestly like where it is. It's pretty good right now in the format when you don't have Cindy Singing Storm. When you don't have a card that answers it and draws you a card that's like usable either the turn after it comes into play or like 2 turns after it comes into play, becomes a lot better. We do get to see quite a few cards kind of having that impact that, you know, they didn't see much play before, but this is a new format, a new rotation.
Yeah, as we are going to go ahead and pass after that Calhoun play, so didn't have anything to follow it up with, but the board not looking too terrible, but you got to know that that Genie is coming down again. We're going to draw cards, so now Matt has to worry about the evasive arena again, as we do have another Olaf. So Dylan really just building that board back up to basically exactly what he just had, as we're going to be able to pretty cleanly remove the Calhoun and the Rafiki here. And now there's just a lone Calhoun staring down these 4 cards. And these mid-range matchups are interesting like that.
It's an interesting line Dylan decided to go for. He exerts the Palace Guard quest away, as we were talking about, just gets to keep questing each turn. Now, normally you would think, well, Matt's not going to take it because doing so creates this situation where he loses both of his challengers and doesn't gain too much. Sure, he gets to keep the Calhoun, and now Calhoun can quest away this, or challenge away this hook and then gain some lore, but then we get a crackback, so it kind of equalizes a 2 for 3 or 3 for 3 across. But the reason to do this is that if he didn't accept that, Dylan could have inked and played Demona, exerted the whole board, and gotten even better like trades. So this way Matt's able to kind of play around the Demona. And you have to think, is Dylan have the Demona? Does he not have the Demona? Challenging with it to give it back can kind of give both thing. So it's kind of a mind game where it's like, well, I have to play around them. It's sometimes how you quest with a character, knowing that they might have an Elsa, where it's just like, I need this lore, and if I let them Elsa it, then I lose the game. Even like, I'd rather get the 2 lore and know it's going to get challenged than like lose by not having the 2 lore at all.
Yeah, that was a really interesting play from Matt there, deciding to move the damage from the Hades to get rid of the hook, which was exerted, could have been challenged by the Calhoun, but decides to get rid of the Hades with their Calhoun. I guess fearing a Cheshire Cat of Dylan's own coming down on the opposite side of the board and using the damage that was remaining on the Hades instead.
Yeah. So instead of forcing the Hades to challenge the Calhoun back, the cat basically does as you said. It plays around Dylan having a cat as well. Because if you leave that damage there, there's the Olaf in play already anyways, right? So the Olaf could just trade into the Calhoun and then bounce the Hades, and the Hades could come back down and target, say, the Calhoun. And be like, well, do you just want to answer it cleanly, or do I get to draw 2 cards?
Yeah. We have a Thunderbolt comes down on the side of Matt, and we pay the ink to do it. No Singer on the board. Got to remove that Genie because you have to stay in the game here via the evasive arena. You want to make sure that you're able to control that. Right now, everything else is low to the board and only questing for 1, so these characters don't put on as much pressure, but we're getting the Cheshire Cat exerted here. What do you think of this?
Yeah, the cards in hand would have to be unique. So we're inking a strength. Okay, so we just don't have anything good. We're doing this, moving damage, putting it on the Lexington. So now it basically trades with whatever character you challenge me back with. Like, well, just the Lexington. Obviously, the Black Heron, it just would banish itself away by doing that.
And we have another Genie for Dylan, so Matt, unfortunately, not able to keep up here with all of these Genies. Dylan able to find the card draw that he needs. And look at that.
What was that? 2 Genies were boosted underneath that cat?
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. That does not feel good.
Yeah, that's the risk you run with the boost ability. You could be getting rid of really, really good cards that you're going to need. And we needed those Genies to fill our hand up and keep board pressure on as well. But a Cobra will help, can challenge into this Heron. But we're going to need to find an answer to this Genie on the board. Do you think maybe Matt is regretting the decision there, looking for a deal on that Hades turn, putting the Iago to the bottom? Because Dylan has not played an action yet. Well, there's an action, but could have been able to control the board a little bit, especially with that Cheshire Cat out there.
Possibly.
Iago's really good at holding damage.
The game would have been completely different.
Yeah.
Dylan would have had more cards to play with. Matt would have had another character for possibly challenging. I think the board stall would have stayed a little bit longer. Most likely would have also quested with Iago. I don't know how much more changed, but it is interesting that like how powerful this Hades is for a Punisher card. That
here's Demona.
Oof. Sorry, Hook. I mean, at least Matt has to be upset and happy about this. It's like, yes, you get a 2-quester for 6, and you're answering my Hook. But I actually have cards, and now maybe there's a world I could come back. A very unlikely one, but maybe Dylan draws a bunch of more Black Herons and other like do-nothing 1-questers, while Matt draws gigantic rushing characters that don't exist. I mean, maybe an Elsa and a Black Heron of his own would not be terrible here, honestly.
I think a Demona plus a 1-drop, like a Captain Hook, would be pretty solid, right? Because you exert their Demona, now she can't ready because Dylan will have 3 cards in hand. And now you can start to battle back on the board. Of course, you need an answer for this Genie sooner rather than later, but I think a Demona on Matt's side would be pretty solid here.
Yeah, Ink, Hook, Demona. So we go no cards, draw, or we'd have one more, I guess. So, but still, that would be pretty good. I think you're right. That's probably one of the better plays we could have here.
Matt thinking it out. We'll see what he's able to have here. But really behind right now as a Dumbo hits the Inkwell. It's 13 to 4 and no characters on. Well, there's
Do
part
we have
one.
it? We have the Demona back.
I called it exactly. I'm a
I
savant.
love
I can
it.
look into the future. Call me
Yes,
Henwen.
yes.
Because I have the visions. Matt needs to make sure he draws his 2 cards here if he hasn't already.
I do
But
believe he did.
that was a good start there. If you can find some removal for Genie here, you can start to battle your way back into this game potentially.
Still going to 16 and
Yep.
having 4 cards in hand and 7 to 8 ink. It's still looking mighty rough, but that was a way to get back in.
Yeah.
We're talking about being the first one to play Demona wins you the game. That second Demona looked really good if we weren't at 13 to 4.
Yeah. I like being able to play Demona and just absolutely punish every other gargoyle on the opposite side of the board. I did it once when a player had 3 Goliaths out. I was like, nice, bro. Nice Goliaths. They're never going to ready again. I played 2 Demonas in a row.
Yep. I do think this game is probably over, though, for Matt.
Yeah, it is giga over. We do not have a way to clear this entire board. The Genie has obviously been questing freely pretty much the entire game. You were able to get rid of 1, but more came down. We have double Calhouns, able to empty the hand again. And yeah, Matt saw the writing on the wall. Let's scoop it up. Let's go into game number 2. I'll be on the play this time. Dylan was on the play in that match.
So how much of that mattered?
Didn't have the strength of a Raging Fire on the play. Matt actually had it on the draw, which is interesting to note. So I'm not sure that the play draw there mattered too much.
I think, yeah, I agree. I think it had more to do with Genie. I think it was like set 4 or 5 red purple Ruby Ammirs, where it's just like I drew goats, you did not, or rabbits and you did not. Now I have been told that I've been told I'm not a good Ruby Amethyst player, and that's why I felt that way. And a good Ruby Amethyst player doesn't always lose when their opponent draws more rabbits. But I feel when my opponent plays 3 or 4 rabbits in a game and I play 1, and it's possible I played my rabbits at the wrong time. I did, but it does feel bad when they draw more.
You being negative on the rabbits, you do have to just play like I feel like a more aggressive tempo style of game, because they're going to be playing rabbit, bouncing rabbit, whatever, drawing cards. So you're just going to be like, okay, I'm going to put my Sisus down and just start questing and then win with goats. So it is tricky. It does make it a lot more difficult, especially if you don't find any friends on the other side, right? These Amethyst mirrors, it doesn't even need to be like Ruby Amethyst versus Ruby Amethyst or Amethyst Steel versus Amethyst Steel, just 2 Amethyst decks going against each other. If one is drawing more cards, it's probably likely that that deck is going to end up winning that matchup.
Yeah. If only you had told me that a year and a half ago. All right, we got the first prediction done. I paid out yesterday's prediction at the start of the stream because I forgot to do that.
Nice.
So get in your prediction now to see who's going to win game 2. Will being on the play matter? Will it not? Will Matt Elliott draw his genies this game?
I put my prediction in, so join me. I am going with Flower Farm to win this game. We're going to go with Matt here on the play to get it done. I'm wagering my 10 points here, and I
10 points, that's it?
I don't know. I just hit the button. Can I put more than 10? I just hit the button, and it just made me pick 10. Oh, predict with custom amount? All right, I'm going for 1,000.
I was going to say, you probably have like 100,000.
Yeah, I'm going for 1,000. 1,010 for Flower Farm. We'll see what happens. But yeah,
the
use your
BB
channel
must
points.
be playing right now.
It's a really fun way to engage here with the ICL live. Put some stakes on it. You know, it's not real money, but it is channel points, and if you have enough, you can make Wonderland do squats and many other things.
Not during the ICL.
Not during the ICL, but during his other live streams, you can cash those in and get some cool rewards.
Be right back.
As we are getting into game number 2 here, the players have both successfully altered their decks. It is Jafar versus Ursula. on the playmats, which I love to see. I love the villain playmats in Disney Lorcana. They have been my favorite there for the set championships. I think overall the villains are kind of cooking the heroes on the playmats. You have Stitch, Ursula, Mirabelle, Scar, Hero Hamada, and Maleficent. Is that right? And Jafar and Maleficent. I gotta say, I like all the villain playmats are cooking the hero playmats right now. The heroes got to fight back, and we have Daisy Duck coming up. But big fan of the villain championship playmats.
This Ursula playmat is insane. I love it.
It's gorgeous, and it's super cool that it is like thematic to the story. It's got Shanzay, Venturo, and Martin there fighting against the Ursula Sea Witch Queen Glimmer. So I like that the story is involved. I like seeing the Illumineers on it. I wish that the Jafar set championship playmat was that art of him with like all the snakes around him fighting the Illumineers, just to keep that story piece locked and loaded in there. But maybe in the next one we'll see what happens.
Is that art from the Deep Trouble art?
Yep, that's the one. Or are you talking about the playmat one is not in Deep Trouble? The playmat in the card, but the one with the snakes around him fighting the Illumineers is from Deep Trouble. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. As you were
sorry,
about to
not
say,
Deep Trouble. The
heist.
The palace heist. This art is from Deep Trouble as well. Yeah.
As you were going to say before I interrupted you, that Cheshire Cat comes down as a 3-drop from Matt, and then Dylan responds with blowing the whistle with a Pete and passing right back. And Matt has the genie this time, as the ground is really kind of clogged up. I don't know. Which would you rather have, a Surfer and a Rafiki, or a Hook and a Calhoun, Garrick?
I think I'd rather have the Surfer and the Rafiki, just because the Madam Mim, like the challenge, the bonus challenge is just so powerful. You can utilize it in a bunch of different areas. Like right now, that Lexington gets exerted, your Rafiki takes it out. So I'd rather have that than I think,
what do you think?
A Calhoun. But Dylan here going really, really wide.
I was going to say 2 cards left. And playing
this is mono steel versus mono amethyst, by the way.
Which color is really better in the mirror?
I wonder
likely
if they
the
made
genies.
a handshake agreement to do this. Which one would you take, steel or amethyst, if you had to play only amethyst cards from your amethyst steel deck? Yeah. I think I agree, as Elsa comes down. So many powerful cards in this amethyst
I think we hit the
strategy
Lexington.
here. Hitting the Lexington, taking it out with Rafiki, I think is the move for sure. And then get to questing with Genie immediately. I think that's the move.
Oh,
those repeat. Interesting.
I do
we
not
get
think I like it.
We want to stack some damage onto Elsa to start boosting with Cheshire Cat, to get rid of that Calhoun next turn. It's not...
Well, that's not going to...
It's not going to help your Genie out, though. I think I would have gone for the Lexington.
Do we have a strength as well?
If
we have strength...
like we do.
Okay, that clears up some thought processes we had.
Yeah, now that is a better play for sure. Being able to use that strength of Raging Fire to get rid of that pesky Lexington, and now we can use the Cheshire Cat ability to get rid of Calhoun. So I really like that on the side of Matt finally using his first steel card of the game.
The best steel card in the deck, followed by Dylan playing possibly the second best steel card in the deck, Lexington, as we re-shut down the evasive skies, as it will be, for a turn or 2, depending. I assume this kitty cat is moving 2 damage onto that Lexington from the Elsa.
Yeah,
and then we get a quest with Elsa afterwards. Even be like, sure, you want to trade?
Yeah, depending on what's in Matt's hand, I might just send them both sideways. Genie and Elsa. You got to get rid of one of them, as we have another Elsa. It looks like he's got everything. Now, surely, you hit the Lexington and go in with Rafiki.
Are we going to stack some damage? I don't think we want to be stacked. We have damage stacked already. We don't always have to challenge with the Elsa, but we wanted the damage stacked, I guess. Or we forgot about the skater. Surfer.
Interesting. So we are going to put 4 onto our Elsa. Quest with Genie here. And really get started. Dylan has found the Lexingtons to stop this aggression from the Genie, but finally the lanes have been cleared up here thanks to Elsa the Fifth Spirit, one of the best cards ever printed in this game of Disney Lorcana. Double Elsa's able to clear up the skies and allow Genie to finally get on the board. Quest for 2 and Quest for 1 with Elsa. Now we are at 3.
Yeah, I think playing a cat and moving 2 damage from one Elsa to take out the other one, leaving an Elsa with 3 damage, might be the play here. I would love to put the damage on the Genie, but when your opponent also has a cat, you can't really expect that to do anything.
Strength
discard
Raging
Doc.
Fire being...
It's all these steel cards for Dylan.
Yeah, unfortunate. It really is the weirdest game I've ever seen. It's steel versus amethyst, and amethyst is clearly winning. But on the back of that 1 steel card, to be fair, we did sing Strength of Raging Fire, but unfortunate hand for Dylan there.
Remember, we were even saying like we could have Rafiki the Lexington.
The Lexington, yeah. As the White Rose comes down, if you're on the flower farm, I think they force you to play a card with a flower on it. I think I've heard that. I don't know if that's true.
I've heard such rumors.
As 2 damage is going to be removed from the Elsa. Finally, the Calhoun gets taken out by the Cheshire Cat, and we are going to get a quest in here for an easy 4 lore.
Slowly and painfully, Matt is answering Dylan's board and questing away.
Yeah, it is a struggle on the side of Dylan here, finding the weaker of the 2 colors that you want to see. You'd like to see a nice mix, but if you're going to find all of one, clearly Amethyst is the one you want to see. We'll see if Dylan is able to do something here. Could Demona? We have 6. There she is. The Scourge of the Wyvern clan is going to get these other characters exerted here now. These Captain Hooks can get active, start taking some things off of the board, like that Madam Mim. Tiny Adversary has got to go. The cat has got to go as well. Let's see what was boosted. Another cat. Kitty. And let's get that Mim off the board. What do we say?
Yeah, definitely. All right, so maybe we're at the start of a game, but just like last game, the person who's kind of struggling behind attempts to gain control of the game, but the other player is just at too high of a lore and is just too wide.
Yeah, too wide and too unassailable. These evasive characters are untouchable at this point, as our 3rd Cheshire Cat does end up coming down. Now you can use 2 to get rid of this Captain Hook if you'd like, or to put some damage on Demona if you would like, but we are going to opt to play another White Rose, gain an additional lore, and quest for 4 again. Or
quest
challenge
for 3.
And quest for 3, which is
Oh, maybe we still quest for 4. I honestly think questing for 4 is fine. Questing with a White Rose here. Because what's Demona going to eat it? So then we move 2 damage off of our Elsa. If our opponent has a cat, they get us anyways. So we might as well have even more damage that is like really undoable. I feel like it's possibly 1 miss lore. That said, it probably doesn't matter too much. Then again, getting your opponent to challenge with the Demona is a great way to not let the Demona ready up if we do play more card draw.
Here's our Cheshire Cat coming down. We're going to sing a little bit. He hurled his Thunderbolt in that nice epic treatment.
Get that Genie out of here.
Finally, the Genie is taken off the board, and Dylan still obviously very much behind.
Can Matt basically get some revenge and say, you know what, I answered multiple Genies and you kept playing them. Am I going to play a Genie after you answer a Genie? No, but close enough.
Dumbo is really good here. These Elsas are going to start drawing us cards with the spare ink that we have left over. This is why Dumbo is still a card that is played in these decks, despite the power boost that we got from Whispers in the Well across the board. Dumbo's still really strong with cards like Elsa, with cards like Iago, and even if you're in a pinch, you can use that Genie to draw a card as well. So shout out to Dumbo. Also, really sometimes it's worth it to just get around Reckless. John Silvers are out there sometimes still lurking about.
So I don't own Maui Sharks. And I couldn't really play Ruby Amethyst for the longest time because I didn't own Maui Sharks. They finally stopped playing Maui Shark, but I don't own Dumbos. I only own one Dumbo, so I still can't play Ruby Amethyst. I was like, look, I took Kendall's list from yesterday as Matt here just goes all out. He's like, you can't answer this. What do you got? Yeah. We basically swapped the game from last time. But instead of it being that way from Matt just not drawing any evasive answers to Dylan just not drawing Amethyst cards until like turn 15. Yeah. And now he has them all, right? After drawing 3 or 4 hooks. He might have drawn all of his hooks. I know he played 2, and I think he inked 1.
Interesting. I wonder what Hades targeted there. Probably Dumbo.
He's just like, whatever, draw cards. Don't care.
Yeah. I think either way, either option is a whatever. Like, okay, you got my Dumbo. Like, I'm still going to win. But I think giving the cards there is the better option. If there's some sneaky way that you can possibly like clear as much as possible here, you want the lore on the board, but it doesn't seem like it is going to happen. Maybe we're going to sing here. No, we're going to challenge a White Rose, and we can challenge another one, or the Cheshire Cat with Demona, if we'd like. We can remove an Elsa from the board as well. But I don't think you can get Matt under 2 here, can you?
We have to answer 3 more cards, 2 more cards, 2 and more characters, 1 more character. 1 more Dylan with 0 ink
and out of challengers.
And we're going to the next game.
Out of ink and out of challengers. So really did a pretty good job of clearing up the board there. And maybe if we found a removal song, we could have gotten rid of 1 more character. But Matt opting to keep. And wouldn't you know it, everybody that went with me on that prediction would have gotten paid out. Give me my points, Luke.
Done. Points given away. Starting the next prediction right now. Who wins the game?
Start
rich. Prediction.
I'm rolling in it.
I'll give 2 minutes still. 2 minutes. Even though we're a minute into the ad.
1.5 on my investment there.
Woo woo. But who's going to get this? Dylan is on the play. So far, the person on the play has won, but it did feel like it didn't matter. I mean,
both games honestly, were complete blowouts. I don't think that the on the play or on the draw mattered at all. I agree with you.
Like, initially, I was thinking the Hook Calhoun was a better opening than the Rafiki and the Skater. But once we get to the evasive stages, Cat into Genie is just so much better than Pete into Lexington and Hook. Especially when we had the Elsa and the Strength. We had multiple outs, and immediately Matt is showing me why the Surfer is better than the Calhoun. The Calhoun was kind of good for Dylan in game 1 when he had the 1/4 questing each turn, which was an advantage to being on the play. I'll say that. That was like 5 or 6 lore gained because he was on the play and not the draw. But had he been on the draw with a turn 1/4 followed by a Calhoun, I mean, maybe he could have been fighting a little bit more in that spot.
We'll see what Dylan is able to find here on the play. I don't know what the perfect curve to be on the play is. It's probably like Palace Guard, Calhoun, Lexington, Genie, Sing Strength, Elsa, Demona. That's probably like the exact perfect curve that you want. If Dylan has that, I don't think Matt can win. But neither player has had that as of yet on the play. And the on the draw player did have chances in both games. It really just came down to what cards were found in the mid game, I think, over the early starts, as we have a Captain Hook coming down on the play. Not necessarily what you want to see on the play, but still finding a 1-drop is very important for that Strength of Raging Fire turn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we definitely don't want the Hook. We don't want Rafiki or Hook if we can help it. It is something to have for the strength, as you were saying. But yeah, we really want that 1/4 to be able to send it each turn, or say a Diablo for a similar reason. And Matt has double 1/4, but you don't really need that many unless you're triple wanting. And against the Dylan's most likely Calhoun, that's not what you want to be doing.
Yep, there's the Calhoun. Get your free lore off of the Captain Hook. You're never going to be able to challenge your quest in the face of this Calhoun at this point.
Do you see that ink?
I did see the Demona go into the ink. Yep.
So that tells me
gotta have another one in hand. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's either another one in hand, or we just don't have the ink, and we're like, we're getting rid of it now, and we're gonna hope some genie action happens, or like a dock or something like that. It is an interesting thing where it's like, well, I want this 6-drop, but I want to curve. Well, you can't do both, friend. You're gonna have to pick one or the other in that thing, and we're starting to play with characters that draw cards when they come into play. But who knows? Maybe shift Elsa, Elsa 3, and then shift on turn 6 your 8-cost Elsa and your 12 Elsa dot deck. We haven't really seen that Elsa see any play at all, which maybe Surfer Mim is enough to make her good, or something to pump her up.
You're talking about the Maleficent Elsa? The 1/3?
Yeah, the 1/3 comes into play. Draw a card. She has a good defensive capabilities if you can pump her on the assault. So maybe play a Lilo the next turn.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
And Lilo, another card that a lot of people thought was going to be an absolute staple, a beast, has not seen a lot of play, but maybe she could come back here in this challenge-heavy meta in these sort of mid-range decks as a 1 of or 2 of, just to surprise the opponent. But
I think it highly depends on a few things. Imagine if Calhoun or Hook were an alien. I think Lilo would see more play.
Oh, yeah.
If we had playable aliens to take advantage of the secondary ability, I think her stocks go through the roof. But we just don't have very many.
It looks like we're going to have a lot of Lilo and Stitch cards in Winter Spell, so she could make her way back into the game, most definitely. And if I had to guess, I think we're going to get an Angel and a Stitch iconic from the next set.
Yeah, if we had like Angel singing it, so there could be a Steel song. If we get something like Storm, do you think Storm is too good to come back into the set? Honestly, like right now, if Storm was in the format, I think it'd be fine.
It would be fine. I think everything is so big now. You're going to have a tough time removing things with it.
Without Cindy, I think it's fair.
Yeah. Obviously, with like you can remove like Palace Guard, whatever, like Captain Hook, like these 1-drops, but you're almost never removing a 2-drop anymore.
Yeah, if you're
and a lot of the 1-drops you're probably not removing either.
The funny thing is, Storm would be best with one of the best cards in the format, though. Webby becomes a lot better with Storm, because on turn 2 you don't want to quest with the Webby because you don't get anything, right? But if you can sing with her, you still get advantage from using the shift. And then the next turn you can quest with her before to get full advantage if you're on the draw.
Yep, we did find the curve though. The 1, 2, 3, 4 sing strength. And Matt unfortunately lost all of his board except that Madam Mim Tiny Adversary. So hopefully Matt is able to come back here with a genie or something of his own. But if there's an Elsa on the opposite side for Dylan, things could get even more troublesome. I don't think we've seen Lexington at all for Matt on his side of the board. We're seeing those flowers. I'm wondering if those are in there instead.
I'm pretty sure I've seen some lists by JDRR and LD that have been lacking Lexington. And it does appear to kind of be an issue in this mirror situation. But let's see if, it doesn't matter. Maybe Iago's just a better Lexington in this regard. Where if they're going to answer Iago with a strength, it would have taken out the Lexington anyways most of the time. And decks aren't really playing Fire the Cannon.
Mm-hmm.
Or are they playing Hypnotic Strength? So they don't have like the max punish. It's just like, oh, your removal would take out anything, so it doesn't matter.
Might have to start playing those cards, though, now that Ruby Amethyst is coming back and
Are
playing 3 or 4 Iagos. You need
they
those
are.
kind of answers, yeah.
Blurple's back. It's one of the few decks that can afford to play that card, and even then I don't know if they want to. But double Genie's not bad. What would be like the best play for Matt next turn? Like play a Surfer, hard play a Strength on the Cobra, challenge Genie into the Genie and take it out, or Strength one of the Genies and then challenge take out the other one, so then they trade and hope that there's not a cat on Dylan's side and you have your own.
Yeah, I mean, that seems pretty good, and you're calling it. We'll see if you are right on the money.
It would be kind of difficult to have another Surfer mem here, but it would allow our Genie to do something. Otherwise, we're probably looking at like an Elsa or a cat. Like Genie into Genie, play cat to move the damage off the Genie to take out the Genie. We don't get challenged back unless there is, say, a cat. If Dylan responds to our cat with a cat, it does just seal the deal. But there's a world that we can stabilize mostly from Dylan being at a lower lore count. But that window closes insanely quickly. All right, that's one of the things we needed here.
Yeah, Elsa, really big. Unfortunately, the tiny adversary does not make this any easier. You still have to go Genie and Elsa into Genie if that's what you want to do. Could exert the Calhoun and get rid of that if you want, but does exert the Calhoun. We'll see if that is what he goes after, but it might just have to be a double into Genie angle here.
I think it has to be the Genie. It opens us up to being able to keep a cat around. If they have a cat, we get punished, but we're losing no matter what, right? So we have to play to what we hope our opponent doesn't have, and the only way we can get out of this, and that's playing a cat next turn and being able to finish off the other Genie. Because we're definitely most likely losing our Genie on the crackback here.
Yeah, and I think you bring up a lot of good points when you're discussing potential lines, because I think what separates good players and great players a lot of the time is foresight. I'm doing what I'm doing on this turn, and I'm trying to figure out a way to make this turn as good as possible, right? And they don't think, okay, if I do this on this turn, then I'll do this on my next turn, I'll do this on my next turn. They're just worried about the moment right now. And I think if people stop to think a little bit more about how is this turn going to impact my next turn, they'll be a little bit better at the game. So it's always nice hearing you on the mic talk about these potential lines and what could happen in the future, even not seeing what is in Matt's hand. As the Genie is removed.
So wide.
Yeah, and that's the problem. The dock came down and blessed Dylan with some 1-drops here that he could put down onto the board and get really wide with.
He only blessed him with one. He just already had the other one. So we went 1-drop into dock, draw 2, play 1-drop, 1 card left in hand. And Matt's got an Elsa, so we can at least take out this Calhoun if we wanted to. I'm assuming our one Elsa takes out the Genie, the other or Elsa takes out Calhoun, the other Elsa takes out Genie, and we need to play a kitty cat and hope they don't have one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that if Matt has a cat on next turn, can definitely turn this game around. We're halfway there on Dylan's side, but everything questing for one right now. I think Elsa was one of the better things that you could get on this turn, honestly. Something that could challenge immediately. We're going to ink a White Rose. Do
Ooh,
we
and a
have
1-drop.
something like a
Nope.
1-drop? No. A Rafiki or a Captain Hook there would have been really nice because it would take out the Cobra 1-for-1. Or any of these Pals cards.
Oh, and
he does
that's,
have
I think
the
that
cash.
seals it. Yeah, we move 2 off of the 4 onto the 3, so we have the maximum amount of counters left on 1 in play, and then we just turn everything sideways.
Yep.
We're gaining 5 lore to 15. We can take out a hook. Yep. That's, oh no, we can take out Doc or Hook, and we need a trick to do anything else. So that probably seals the deal.
Yeah, that most likely is going to be all she wrote. And it really, I think the being on the play mattered really heavily here because you got to your Strength of a Raging Fire before your opponent could. And he did have the Cheshire Cat. So if Dylan didn't have it, I think maybe there's a way Matt fights back and gets back into this game. But unfortunately, Dylan did have the Cheshire Cat to sort of close the door here. And I do like the point you mentioned earlier about it replacing Bell Accomplished Mystic in these lists.
Survive
The cat is just so powerful. But yeah, let's get rid of a Captain Hook. We can challenge here to get rid of something else. The Doc. And I don't believe there's anything like White Rose on Dylan's side. We haven't seen it yet, but another Cobra could end the game, of course. Are we thinking about doing something with the Mim here? She only challenges for 1. So you would want to just be putting a single damage on something.
Yeah, the thought process is that if I challenge with Mim, that's 1 character that is not questing if you challenge back. The problem is then you really lose your ability to challenge these characters down. But realistically, are you going to be able to challenge 4 characters down and answer whatever card Dylan plays? And that is a no. There's just no way. Hey, I have 2 more cards, Dylan.
Hades looking for a deal here is actually pretty backbreaking. You don't want to give your opponent 2 more cards, but you also cannot afford to lose anything on your side of the board.
It's a little win, Mori. It doesn't matter. I like Matt being like, you know what? I'm going to lose this game, but you're not getting more cards.
Going up to 19 here for Dylan. I don't think there is any way for Matt to come back at this point. Only a 1 lore, 2 characters on board compared to 5, and no way to really clear the board. Genie's going to see if there's some miracle in the deck, but doesn't seem likely as Restand takes game.
Scooping him up.
And match number 1, round number 1 here on the ICL versus the Flower Farm in the mirror matchup, as we are going to head on over to the interview booth and talk to these players about what we just saw.
Yeah, exactly. Are you on docs or no?
No.
Okay. A lot of people have just been like cutting down on them.
Yeah, and I was trying out a 4 Demona, but I think I saw 1 in the 4 matches.
Yeah.
3 matches, sorry.
Demona's interesting in this deck.
We're just letting them interview
Hello,
each other.
gentlemen. Luke and I are here after the match. Great match, by the way. We thought it was super, super interesting. That second game, especially, where we had a Steel versus Amethyst game, where that was one of the wildest things that I've ever seen in Disney Lorcana. But it looked like the Amethyst cards were a little bit better, I would say, overall.
Just a little.
Yeah, just a tiny bit, but really cool game, really interesting lists from both players. We heard you talking about it a little bit, the differences between your decks with the docs, and also playing the White Roses there. But want to start with Dylan. Congratulations on the win in this mirror match. How do you feel about Amethyst Steel's position right now? I think everybody in the game sort of is in consensus. It's one of the top 2 or 3 decks, if not the best in the game. How do you feel about it right now? And how do you feel about the matchup spread in the mirror overall?
I think Purple Steel's story is basically just consistency, like throughout the past 2 or 3 sets now. And yeah, if it's a deck where it kind of just has play into everything, and like every card just feels like good to play. You never feel super far behind. And just for me, like I've been testing a lot of other decks, and Purple Steel is just like that one consistent deck that I just feel comfortable playing into pretty much anything. And I guess Red Purple now too as well. But Purple Steel is just obviously one of the top contenders right now, I'd say. It's poised to do well in tournaments, I'd say. So I'm definitely happy about it. The mirror is always interesting. We were just talking about like it feels kind of play draw dependent and like who has strengths. Like if you go
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 strength, it's just so hard to really come back from that. In that third game, that's basically how it went down. And but I think Amethyst Steel is just I don't think it's a shocker to anyone that it's just super solid right now. And I don't really see it going anywhere in the meta. So
Yeah, Luke and I were discussing those first 2 games. It didn't feel like the way the cards came, it didn't feel like that those 2 games were too play draw dependent, but we saw the absolute backbreaking power of what you said, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, sing strength. And it feels like if you're on the play and you do that, you actually cannot lose to anything. There's just no way any deck is beating you, right? Does it feel like that when you're able to get that powerful starting line off?
it does. There's definitely some decks that I'm still a little afraid of, even when I'm playing Amethyst Steel. I mean, I like so for example, I have Pete's in my deck, and that's mostly for like the green blue matchup. It helps in some other matchups, but for the most part, Pete's not like Amber Steel's not around anymore, and B Prep's not around anymore. So Pete hasn't really like had a place in the meta. But that green blue is just that like super high rolly deck that can it just has really swingy turns, and even if you're on the play, you go 1, 2, 3 strength. Like if they get an early comp, like they just shift to Philip, and it's just hard to come back from that unless you're running a ton of reach, which some of these Amethyst Steel decks are starting to run. Like the white, Nick was on the White Rose, and like I have Olaf in my deck, and like that can really help. If they sing Malicious, Mean, and Scary, you get to bounce back your Cobra or Rose, and it just gives you more reach against that matchup. But Pete also helps. But there's definitely some matchups that you know what I mean. It's like this deck is beatable. It's consistent.
Yeah, it is noticeable how your deck seemed to be a little bit more geared for the mirror playing the Lexingtons, and his deck is a little more geared at not losing to the Emerald Sapphire if that was the matchup. It felt that way a little bit. Would you agree with that, Nix, or not? Or
Sorry.
Nickelnitz,
I guess so.
the Discord.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
It's Matt, right? Yes.
Yeah. My run is Matt. Yeah, yeah. Either's fine. But yeah. I think that's probably the case maybe, but it's just a typical purple steel mirror, and it was just interesting to see what got put underneath the Cheshire Cats.
Oh,
yeah, those double genies under there, that was brutal. We were talking about that. Like, we just need some way to combat these evasive characters, and seeing those 2 genies under there was really brutal. But are you running any Lexingtons in your list? We saw the White Roses, but
No Lexington.
could you talk us through the decision there? Wonderland was mentioning that other players have been doing the same. Just wanted to pick your brain on that a little bit.
Oh God, I don't know. To be honest, right now it's very late at the moment. I'm trying to think of the
No, you're
reasonings.
good, man.
So yeah, I don't know. I think it's just the Cheshire Cat's so strong, and using that, and then I just quite like the White Rose to just try and get over the line. And I'm trying to remember what other 3 drops we got in there. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, I'll pass. Sorry.
Okay, no worries.
I think Lexington's super strong in the mirror. Like,
Yeah.
It definitely helped me out a lot that game. Like even the game 2 where I was kind of bricked up, and like I had 3 Lexingtons, and you know what I mean. It definitely kind of stalled his game.
Yeah, having to deal with that amount of like strength and stuff is going to be tricky.
Yeah, but something obviously like something like the White Rose helps you go a little bit faster, and like you see some Amethyst Steel lists right now with Timothy Q and the evasives and stuff, and like that will definitely help you win out against like Blurple and Green Blue. But you kind of hurt your other matchups, and like Dog Amber Emerald's a real deck. There's like
Yeah.
two very good versions of it right now, so you kind of give up points in that category. So this deck is really just about finding a balance, I think.
Yeah, it's always interesting how that balance begins to wax and wane and change throughout the meta. We saw it in the last set as well, the previous set, when people were starting to figure out like dump truck is insane and things like that. So like the deck starts out one way and then slowly morphs and adapts to the meta, but keeps that core identity intact, which just makes it super, super strong. So really enjoyed the gameplay, Luke. Any other questions for our players here before we kick it to round number 2?
I think we hit it, but we can do some shout outs. We'll start with
Yes, of
Matt,
course.
see if he can get any before he falls asleep.
I'll just shout out the Flower Farm crew for the awesome support, and John for taking the lead, obviously, in JDR, and then just my locals in Bristol.
All right. How about for you, Dylan?
Yeah, just shout out to, I mean, first of all, shout out to you guys. I've only been in the ICL for like 4 weeks now, but shout out to Restand. I love playing with them. We're all from the Florida area. And then shout out to my team, the Incasters. Yeah, they're playing as well. So
Awesome.
All right. Well, great games. It was very fun to watch, even if some people did not want to watch Amethyst Steel, but we got it out of the way in the first round. So we'd like to thank you both for playing in the first round. So we only had to see it 1 out of the 3 rounds. I just really hope the next 2 rounds are just not also mirrors and they're good matchups. Let's hope. Let's hope. But you two have a fantastic night, and we'll chat with you later. Hopping on over to the booth with Garrick.
I'm back.
Oh. And we're back. I beat you that time.
You did. You cooked me because I was looking for my unmute and undeafen at the bottom, but I moved it to the top so I could read stuff, and it cooked me. It killed me there. But yeah, that was a great match. I mean, people complaining about watching Amethyst Steel. I love watching Amethyst Steel, seeing players navigate it. I think if you want to be okay, you can talk about 1, 2, 3, 4 strength being like one of the most broken things that you can do in the game. But I think if you genuinely like want to get better at the game, figuring out board states, figuring out how you should sequence your turns, playing like mid-range decks like Amethyst Steel is one of the best ways to do that. And watching games from players playing Amethyst Steel is another really good way to do that. So going complaining about Amethyst Steel games, guys, they're going to make you better.
There's much
Watch
worse.
them.
There's much worse mirrors to have to watch.
We could be watching Blurple mirrors from set 9, okay?
Oh, well, let's hope you didn't just curse yourself, as I'm going to dip away for a round here and try to get some food while you get to stay around and cast with one of my favorite people and an ICL mainstay. We've got JDZ Quest coming in the booth.
What?
He's muted. JD's muted.
There it is. I was hovering over the unmute button and I couldn't find it. Okay, the mute button has been located.
He was playing Candy Crush on his phone, and we caught him.
You caught me. You got me locked in on the Candy Crush, dude. Could you see? You can. I always forget when I come into the booth. You guys can possibly see me when I'm out here doing my thing, and you caught me live and direct. But Garrick, I got to disagree. I love watching the Amethyst Steel mirrors. I'm in for it.
I do.
I can watch
do
Amethyst
too.
Steel mirrors all day.
I can as well. If the chat is complaining about it, and Luke, we get my payout here on these channel points. I wagered 5K. I want my channel points on the last game. I got it right. But JDZ, how have you been since yesterday? Excited for some more amazing high octane Disney Lorcana Restand versus Flower Farm. What do you think of these two teams?
I am all in on the ICL on a Wednesday, and I've been abundantly clear on my take that Wednesday kind of clears Tuesday. Not gonna lie, ICL on a Wednesday is a bit hotter than ICL on a Tuesday. I think that's more of the preamble, and we got an absolute knockdown, drag out battle royale coming up. The Flower Farm getting loose, getting busy, getting active. I love seeing these Illumineers come through, playing these purple cards, what they do best. I mean, that's another thing, Garrett. We don't talk enough about these little micro coalitions that we have in
Yeah,
the community, like these different teams and these different Discord servers and these different organizations of people who are testing together and learning together and training together, and some of their own. It's very reminiscent to those old kung fu movies that we have back in the day, like,
yeah.
oh, whose clan is stronger?
Everybody out here is kung fu fighting, and I love to see it. Yeah, shout out Lounger, shout out Flower Farm, shout out SLTC. These coalitions are super cool, and if you can join one, do it. You'll get better. All three of those communities always play testing, always have people helping each other out, and yeah, I highly recommend it. So shout out to the people running those communities. Shout out to the people joining those communities and contributing to them. They are some of the best places to be in Disney Lorcana if you don't have a local coalition yourself. You know, that I think the 20 Lore Pro server was always a great resource now, but I think tighter knit communities are coming together. So if you're able to get into one of those tight knit communities, definitely do it, as we have Raymond going up against Isaac here in round number 2. Flower Farm's going to try and come back here. They're going to be on the play and trying to get it done here in round number 2 of the ICL on a Wednesday. Jay-Z's favorite place to be.
Down but not out. Okay, taking that first hit, and sometimes in the ICL, at least in set 9, when we had that fabled meta, when you go down in that first one, you pretty much are in bad shape for the remainder, because you're probably gonna have bad matchups throughout. But now I think the meta is so much more open and a little bit more diverse. You have a chance to potentially win that second game on the draw, or excuse me, on the play, and then turn around and repel yourself and probably get one on the draw. So it's never over. As Raymond is like, I disagree wholeheartedly with Jay Diesel, the middle-aged weasel. I'm about to stomp this thing out right now and just get to the Dublinsky immediately, says Raymond, as we're underway. But tuning in, everyone else, hopefully you're tuning in, watching Stranger Things, I think is dropping tonight, the final season. Thoughts on that? Are you watching that?
I have a real love-hate relationship with Stranger Things.
Okay.
Probably should have ended after season 1, but
there you go.
I got to see it through to the end here, as we have some Ruby Amethyst, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go. We're locked in. We're laser focused. Shout out Raymond here on the Ruby Am, and says, I'm sticking with Halloween, okay, till all the way through Thanksgiving. All right, Christmas can hold off another few days till we get into December. And you know what? I like to see it, as we have Isaac on the Blurple, the notorious Blurple, coming back and making a
this
return.
might be a little taste test of the future. I think this could be where our meta ends up, with the Sapphire Amethyst versus Ruby Amethyst. Tells us all the time red versus blue with a splash of purple. I like there's some poetry there, because red plus blue makes purple. And they both are having purple, so they seem like they're kindred spirits, but also rivals there.
They are been big rivals for the longest time. Ruby Amethyst was the only thing keeping Ruby Sapphire in check, and everyone wants to say Ruby Amethyst was the villain. Get it together, guys. Like, obviously, Ruby Sapphire was the problem, and we just beat Ruby Sapphire. Excuse us for doing y'all a favor, as the Rafiki is going to take the Tinkerbell there. I do like the quest from Raymond. Try and keep your Diablo a little safer. If you want to take that Tinkerbell, go ahead. But we've got another vicious bird on the opposite side, that giant spectral parrot, the Iago, which is back in a major way.
Talk about a pain train. This guy is absolutely the fear, strikes a little bit of fear and panic into the Ruby Amethyst player, as they don't have a lot of tools to deal with them. I understand that the Ruby Amethyst players are beginning to tech cards like They Never Come Back, and also magical maneuvers to deal with this bird. I'd love to see maybe a copy or two of Hypnotic Strength being added back to this deck, just to deal with this pesky Iago, because he's taking 2 cards, Garrett. We're talking +1, +2 to get that bird off, especially when you pair it with a card like Cheshire Cat, or maybe even Bell the Accomplished Mystic comes back into the metagame, and this bird is going to get loose, busy, and nasty. I like the Iago inclusion in the Sapphire Amethyst deck.
Yeah, Iago now, like, feels like, maybe this doesn't make sense, but to me, feels like he occupies a similar space to Maui Hero to All did previously, as Hades is coming down looking for a soul right now. Are we going to make a deal? We are going to give up the 2 cards. I think that is correct. You got to at this point. But Iago, again, is just like that big character that is going to get the 2-for-1 no matter what.
Yeah, and it usually comes at a pretty extensive clip. And even if you do add, they never come back, or a magical maneuvers, or a hypnotic strength, it's coming at a lot of tempo from you, and it's not even going to be that bad to use that vanish keyword on this Iago. So I love the inclusion of the card. I'm glad that he's finding his way back into the metagame. I think the card is a rock star there, and just making these illusions be a part of the game, I think, is great. Seeing as we haven't seen any more illusions since we left Jafar's island there, or Acacia's island. No more illusions. Hopefully they continue to include more illusions into this game as it goes on, as Genie is going to be deployed there on 4. So the curve is tight. You've hit all your markers, but again, look how strong this Iago is. It's really got you jammed up.
Yeah, the Iago's super powerful. Shout out to Ellie in the chat. One of the best judges out doing it. Tells us that Sisu was chosen by the Hades. And interesting, having the Sisu out there and giving the Hades more cards just makes your Sisu stronger. So it kind of lessens the sting of that deal that Hades is looking for, as that Sisu pretty big at this point. Izik with a full grip on the Blurple side.
But you did
There's
go
Demona.
exert here, and Demona comes out with the Hades and Demona. And shout out to Anadi Day. He came by my stream a moments ago, and he told me about this little Demona and Hades synergy and why he's so down on Hades, because it makes your Demona that much weaker. But in this situation, I would concur. And as your Demona was able to come through and exert some characters that were virtually already exerted, but you also didn't get a chance to draw any cards, so it made your Demona a little bit worse with this Hades looking for a deal.
Yeah, a little anti-synergy. That's definitely true. I do love Hades, playing him later in the game. He's not a 5-drop. I want to play on turn 5. I'd rather Elsa or Headless Horseman, but
For sure.
you play the cards that you are dealt, and when you play it before Demona, it does feel a little bit worse, as the Cheshire Cat comes out, one of my favorite cards of Whispers in the Well. We talked about it in the last round. This is one of the key cards that you can use to really even things up and come back over and over and over. A Bell Accomplished Mystic, similar card, but the Cheshire Cat can do it all day, every day, like he's Steve Rogers.
And and I honestly, I agree with you. It's one of my also favorite cards in this set, just because it adds that another dimension of, it adds another layer to the game. I love cards that allow you to make multiple decisions per turn and do multiple things per turn, and then it's repeatable as well. So your opponent is going to have to plan around you using your Cheshire Cat, or they use their Cheshire Cat against you. And it's just because it's just, as I love layers, man. We need more layers in the game of Disney Lorcana, because sometimes it can be a bit linear, maybe a little too linear for people's liking. But a card like this in this design can add those types of layers that we need to make the game a bit more complex.
Yeah, with no interactions on your opponent's turn, for the most part, there are some strange, wild, and funky little exceptions to that rule.
Yeah.
But for the most part, there's no interaction on your opponent's turn. So adding more layers of depth to the game, I think, is super important, especially for those people with that competitive taste, as we see Basil making a return here to the metagame. One of the staples of last set, Iago getting loose here and taking out the Sisu, and still living to survive another day. So probably going to get that 3-for-1, which is not what you want to see if you are Raymond. But has been dominating the skies at this point, and you don't have the ability to take advantage of the Cheshire Cat boost to remove it either, because Demona's taking out the Diablo if you do decide to challenge in.
Yeah, I think you got to get to a potential Elsa or something to clear. I mean, this Iago has been absolutely all over your face, in your case, in your space, and just dominating your whole will to go on here at this point. Just taking card after card. It's been an absolute knockdown, drag out experience. The Iago giant spectral parrot. You're going to have to send another card. So maybe Elsa here to kind of help stifle the blow a bit, but you get your own Demona, and this Demona is significantly stronger than Izik's Demona. You're going to be able to get some value from this, but that Iago is still looming.
Yep, for sure. I mean, the Dumbo untouchable, but the Basil can be hit here for sure. It would be really nice if you were able to have the ability to boost this turn, because you could go for that Iago as well and really try to even things up, but just don't have the ink available to do it. You have to send it back at this point. But Demona is going to stay stone at this point. She is a gargoyle, and you can counter a Demona with the Demona. I really love that interaction. Sometimes the designers, well, I say oftentimes the designers of this game over at Ravensburger are able to hit those maximum flavor wins, and Demona Scourge of the Wyvern clan is one of those flavor wins and one of the most powerful cards in the game. Absolutely love the flavor and love the ability.
You're Wyvern clan. I'm a
Well, that's
Wyvern
what
clan.
I would say Wyvern, but I've
Yeah.
been watching Gargoyles and they say Wyvern in the show.
They say Wyvern, so you've done the research.
I
know
have.
you go deep in the research. Okay, so I'm glad. I think I'll join Wyvern gang as well and stop saying Wyvern, because I've been saying Wyvern this entire time. And it
I
feels
was saying
right.
Wyvern during the release, but then I locked in. I watched it. They're the Wyvern clan. That's what they say.
Okay, I'll be also. I'm Wyvern now, so we're Wyvern clan, and we're just gonna keep that energy going as Genie is going to come through with the Wish for Field clan, drawing another card, staying super evasive. This Dumbo, ninth one of the universe, can get another draw in as you're content with never letting your Demona ready again. And that's a vibe sometimes. I mean, I don't know. I like to get my Demona up and active after she's stoned by day, but sometimes you want to just keep her exerted forever. And that seems to be the play that Isaac elects to go for here. Iago looking for another card, and he will succeed by taking that Diablo. So that's a 3-for-1 Iago. You love to see it.
Yeah, like you said, that Iago was wreaking havoc for the majority of the game. I hope once Genie is gone, we get another 4-cost uninkable that draws a card when it enters in Amethyst, because we had the rabbit for so long. Now we have the Genie. If that doesn't happen, there's going to be a hole in my heart that needs to be filled by something. Well, Dumbo's a 4-drop, but
you got that new Elsa. I mean, the one Elsa, the 1/3 joint. She can draw on enter. That's not
I want a 4-cost uninkable that draws on enter.
Got it.
Not a 3-cost inkable 1/3.
Okay. All right. I mean, beggars cannot be choosers, dude. You got to take what you can get sometimes.
Well, I have Dumbo. Dumbo's a 4-drop that draws cards, but
okay,
not when he comes into play. I need that. I need that ability or I'll be lost as Elsa comes down. Now we're going to make some moves. Let's see what we can do here. Raymond does have 2 ink available as well, so we can get to boosting and remove this Genie if we would like, or we can go for the Dumbo as well.
I mean, I like the Dumbo. I think he's a bigger threat in this situation. I think Raymond agrees. Getting that Dumbo ninth wonder of the universe off the board here and now, and just kind of leave a little bit of damage floating for this Elsa. Still going to be a little too high for that Genie to take back on the rebuttal. And Elsa will be strong enough to keep that Genie from questing, as you can do that same play again. Probably keeping that Cheshire Cat ready and active. And that was a super solid turn for Raymond here, who's kind of falling behind with that Iago shenanigans. But now you're in a better situation. However, Garrick, we're in deep terrain now. 7 ink turn. This Blurple deck can really start to come alive. Maybe Hades, maybe Elsa. Thoughts?
Yep, could go with that Hades Infernal Schemer here for 7.
This just in. This just in. Not
breaking news.
It's Isaac. My bad. I can't read very well, Garrick, as you know.
It could go either way. It could go.
I lean on you on the pronunciations there. As you correctly hit the Wyvern clan. No, I already said it wrong now. There's Wyvern clan.
Wyvern clan.
The Wyvern clan. There.
They have wings. Wyverns do have wings. Gargoyles have wings. Demona looks very draconic, as do the other ones. So I think maybe there's something there as another big, bad Iago hits the board. Does Raymond have an answer for this thing, or is it going to be the Terror of the Skies? Yet again, as we did see a Hypnotic Strength come down, put onto the Genie, was able to take out that Elsa. So that's really important to note there. The Genie is going to be able to start questing now as the skies are free, but Isaac does still have 3 cards in hand, and his Demona is going to stay exerted basically for the rest of the game, it seems.
That's what I'm telling you. I think that's Isaac just says, you know what, Demona, you did everything I want you to do. Now just chill and just be a piece of stone. As the library is down, this might be a telltale sign of what are things to come. As you might be running out of resources, you'll place that Mona inside the library as she gets her read on. She doesn't have anyone to challenge, but you have your own spectral parrot though. So Iago on Iago violence, the stare down commences as this game just got super real. These Amethyst cards are on another level. We need to balance Amethyst. Thoughts?
Amethyst is perfectly balanced, and it is exactly how it should be.
Can't be real. Can't be real. We got an insider in here, and I think that is fake news. I think the Amethyst cards might be a bit too much, as you can tell how ingrained in the board they are right now. The Genie, the Iago, and the Demona still exerted stone by day. It looks like Raymond's Demona will be able to ready next turn.
Yep.
As Isaac needs to make something happen here. You need another powerful play.
Yeah, Isaac has 4 cards in hand right now. Would love to be able to start using this Demona. Could slam a Hades here, but I think if that was going to happen, it might have happened already. Raymond empty at this point. You know, we haven't seen a Headless Horseman come out yet. That could
Very true.
equalize things even further in Raymond's favor, as you could blast that Genie with a Pumpkin Bomb and keep things moving here. But Isaac needs to come up with something, as he seemingly started to fall behind.
Right, and we had some super slow turns. I believe that last turn you had a Hypnotic Strength challenge turn with the play Iago on a 7 ink turn. That does not seem very indicative of what the Sapphire Amethyst usually likes to do on these deep terrain. Like, you like to drag them out, and then you like to put them down with your big characters. No Elsa, no Monstro. I think even a Monstro, the Monstrous Weld, would be decent in this scenario, because you can clear the library while also reducing the size of your hand to get your Demona back in play. As we play another 5-cost character, it's Elsa coming on through, maybe getting after this Cheshire Cat to get that annoying threat off the board right now. And I think you will have to take that advantage, or take the initiative to do that, as the Iago is going to be boosted underneath. I like that play, but still, what do you think about Isaac's situation? You're not really dropping any of those Sapphire Amethyst Megaton cards out in this situation.
Yeah, Dumbo is going to help a lot, I think. Having that Elsa being able to remove the Cheshire Cat, and then following that up with another really high power card in the form of Dumbo, which can keep your hand very healthy, as Raymond is looking at exactly 0 in hand at this point, does want to put some damage onto that library to start getting rid of it. We'll see what Genie decides to do here as well, but we're definitely going to get a lore off of that. Isaac, nice turn there, able to fill the evasive arena with some more cards, but not out of the weeds yet, as we will gain a lore, go to 11 off of the library, and then be able to quest for 3 potentially, or start clearing more cards off the opposite side of the board with that big Iago.
Oh, absolutely. And now having that Cheshire Cat be down, though, your Iago gets a little bit worse, but this Elsa makes things a little bit better, as now you can clear off that Dumbo Ninth Wonder of the Universe again in a plussing nature. You can also take down that Genie, getting another plus value there, and still that Iago will reign supreme. So I don't know if it's worth it, but I think you have to take the chance now. Go after the Dumbo, go after the Genie with the Elsa, and then you still leave Elsa and Demona, who now finally, after millennia, 2,000 years it seems, she finally will be able to ready again and get to her full form and own the night once again.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can move some more characters into the library here with our additional ink. Now, we can take out that library with the combination of Iago and Elsa, but that means you're not challenging into these characters which you're questing, and we're at 12 right now. Demona can obviously challenge in as well, so that might be the move. Get rid of the library with her and Elsa, and potentially challenge into the evasive arena with your Iago. But what would you do here with what we know is on the board?
Yeah, I think you gotta get after the library for sure first. You cannot allow Raymond to draw a ton of cards in this situation, just based on the way they've been playing. They haven't really, they don't have that refill. You don't want to put more resources to their hands. So clearly, I would have to get after the library first, and then I'm gonna take out whatever. I think you got a plussing situation on this Elsa. I think I take down the Elsa with the Iago, just to try to gain another piece of value, and then forcing the trade with the Iago here on your Iago as a rebuttal, I think is a great play. I love that line of approach from Isaac, and now you still have enough resources in your hand to ensure your Demona can come back active again next turn, and still maybe force some more trades. So I like this play a lot from the Sapphire Amethyst player.
Yeah, we'll see what is in the hand for Isaac here. Obviously, still haven't seen that Hades Infernal Schemer, but I think that is an easy slam if you have it. Thinking about something here, it
There
is
he
the
is.
Hades, and we will get rid of that Demona, sending her into the Inkwell. That's exactly what you needed. Now things are looking a lot better for Isaac, who started off really strong, kind of fell behind, but now back again thanks to the power of this Iago, able to make favorable trade after favorable trade. If this is a genie, no, it's not a genie, it's a Dumbo, so we can still draw a card. But putting cards into hand for Raymond is what he needs to do right now, because we just need to continually put pressure onto this Blurple player who's only at 6 and can start to turn the corner really quickly if we don't put pressure on.
I wonder what that next card in hand is. If it's anything I can play, I'm probably slamming it immediately. But in that
Doesn't.
situation, it was not slammable. So it's probably telling me it's that Hades, Genie, or Hades, or Demona, or something like that. As we got another looking for a deal, this is where those Hades really start to shine. Like I
Yeah.
said, they're not a 5 cost play, but right now getting 2 cards pretty much guaranteed, and just being able to continue to propel yourself seems like a super, super good card. Double Hades on board. One looking for a deal. One already infernally scheming. And the vibe continues. A lot of villains on this board as well. I didn't realize the deck played so many villains. And the Bell, basically a villain in this situation too. Yuck.
Yeah, yeah. This is a pretty villainous board on the side of Isaac. And also, to just make note of things, Flower Farm coming out with their 2 patented decks in rounds number 1 and 2. Who knows what they're going to come with in round number 3, as their 2 big dogs, Amethyst Steel and Blurple, being played in the first 2 rounds.
It's got to be Ruby M. It's got to be the new and improved Flower Farm approved Ruby Amethyst strategy coming in round number 3. I'd eat a shoe if they don't play another Amethyst deck. Are you kidding me? They're the Amethyst players over there. As we're gonna go for looks like a 6 ink turn, 7 ink turn, 6 ink, and the Demona is coming on through. Oh, you hate to see it in this situation. You absolutely hate to see it.
Yeah, does decide to ink the Elsa there because we couldn't play it this turn. That way we can draw 3 cards instead of 2 and potentially use our 4 ink to its utmost here. Maybe play a Genie, maybe get another Iago down or a couple Diablos or something like that. Things are not entirely over for Raymond by any stretch of the imagination, but you are staring down quite a hefty board on the opposite side. At least that Demona won't ready, and we
Hmm.
got a Genie on the board, so we can get another card and potentially get over the finish line if we can find some removal in the form of that Headless Horseman.
I think a Headless Horseman still sniping that Elsa would not be bad at all, but you would absolutely be devastated to see another Hades Infernal Schemer coming in. And those dudes
Yeah.
like to run in bunches. Even an Elsa, the Spirit of Winter, coming down in this spot would be quite problematic. So you have a ton of ink to work with. You can make some loose and active plays with your new and improved hand given to you by the Wyvern Clan leader. And there he is, another scheming and dreaming. We're sending that genie down to the Inkwell. Big quest inbound as well.
Scheming, dreaming, and daydream believing. Hades coming onto the board and removing his second card of the game. We're going to get a big quest for Isaac, and that's exactly the thing you did not want to see if you are Raymond at this point. Ruby no longer has access to Be Prepared, doing the Brent Mukai patented rub the card on the playmat and find Be Prepared, but it wasn't able to do the magical maneuver and turn that into the 7-drop board wipe. So Isaac going to take it here. Game number 1 on the play, as you would expect for a Blurple deck. Raymond needs to try and get under the strategy, finding those Diablos, those Sisus, and curving out properly. Hopefully he has something in this deck to take care of those Iagos, because that was the real problem in this first game
Yeah.
number 1.
You gotta, and we talk about that all the time here on the ICL and all the other publications that we do. When we're talking about card advantage, okay, card advantage comes up so often, but people really kind of just don't really notice when you're just sitting there getting plussed on by this thing over and over and over. You don't win those games a lot of times, Gary. You will probably lose. It's tough to It's tough. It's really tough
Yep.
to see how you can achieve a victory after getting one card, taking away 3 cards, and then another one. It's just a mess, man. So you can't allow that to happen. There's really not a lot you can do. Uh, more often than not, unfortunately, you just got to deal with it, I suppose. But I got a question for you though. If Be Prepared were to come back, Would Ruby Amethyst be the best deck for real,
Yeah.
or would it be something else? I mean,
I think it
how?
would be Ruby Amethyst because Ruby Amethyst has easy ways to draw cards. The other Ruby strategies don't anymore. The Sapphire strategy doesn't really have reliable card draw. No Hirams, no Popsicles to use the Tamatoas. Maybe if they got something where they could, reliably draw more cards, Ruby Saf could come back in a major way off the back of the Maui Half Shark, but without again, the cards that they've lost previously, like even the McDuck Manor, I think it might be difficult. But if you
Mhm.
were to just snap your fingers and put Be Prepared into the game today, I think Ruby Amethyst would make a major move towards the top, as
Yeah.
you would just be able to deal with the other mid-range decks and go under the control decks pretty
And yeah,
reliably.
it would make you have mad even like going long, and they do the whole Prince Philip stuff and go wide with the Hades and all that. You just blow it up and then
Mm.
restart and continue to go. So I agree. I hope it never comes back. I want you guys to suffer a little bit, like we all have suffered. Keep it out, okay? Maybe give them to another color. Be really prepared. Make it like a different color. How's that? As we are playing with a intense rate of speed, as we are going to take your approach and just try to get loose here with the triple one drop open and just try to aggro the Sapphire Amethyst player.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10 though, I mean, I'd rather not triple one just because you're gonna run out of ink and run out of cards to play in your hand unless there's obviously you're gonna need to run into genies and things. I'd rather go 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop in this
Mhm.
strategy and then curve out into that Demonas. We see the White Rose go into the Inkwell. We'll see what else we have on 3, but you can already see how low Raymond is in terms of cards in hand at this point, which is not necessarily where you want to be as a Ruby Amethyst player. Only 2 cards left. You got to think you want to ink once per turn. You got to ink all the way to 6 to make use of the Demona. So the double 1 drop can be a blessing. It can also be a major curse as we're staring down 2 Rafikis and a
Oof.
Iago again. It
Yeah.
does not look good for Raymond right now, I think.
That's the one you did not want to see. And you're hoping that maybe your Diablo can get banished so you can get another card to continue to accelerate, or maybe you can find a genie here to give yourself an additional card. But that Iago is going to bring your questing plan down to an absolute screeching halt. And you're going to say, nay, I'm sending it anyway. I ain't heard no bell, says Raymond. And we're getting sideways. Tokyo Drift status complete as we didn't even
And
put the
we
card.
pass.
Oh, I don't like it. I
It
like to
has to be
play.
3 uninkables. It has to be like
Yeah.
2 genies and a headless horseman or
And you
something.
And you
And
couldn't even slam the Diablo there.
that again is why I never want to go double ones, like almost never. Let me
Yeah.
not say never, never, but like it just hurts to go
Oof.
that many cards onto the board when you need to ink up consistently. And this just might be over before it really gets started.
Yeah, that is an absolute not a vibe type situation. As these Rafikis were able to hold down the board, you will take down the Diablo just to take that lore off and give up another card. But again, we saw how impressive this Iago has been, and now armed with the Bell the Accomplished Mystic as well, giving him another sign of life and taking down another character. That's a 1-2 punch that I think really needs to be reinvestigated going into these larger tournaments. CCS coming up in a few weeks, PPG shortly after that. I like the Iago Bell stuff. Maybe people might have to curtail their decks to account for that as another plus coming in from Iago. I think that is 3 cards that this guy has taken so far, and it's looking super roses for Isaac as Raymond here needs a miracle already.
Yeah, this game again just might be over before it even really gets started here. You could start to come back. A headless horseman get some instant removal, then you can prevent the bell from challenging because you can challenge into it. And there is the headless horseman, one of my favorite cards from this set, removing the Elsa off the board. So that's a good start if you're Raymond. That's what you wanted to see. Get the immediate removal and somebody that can challenge on the board. We're not getting into Hades territory quite yet for Isaac, so probably going to remain a little safe unless an Elsa comes down yet again for Isaac.
Yeah, and also another bell, Cheshire Cat, any of those types of things is just absolutely repulsive. Even this Hades looking for a deal. I mean, you might have to just send this as a horse, as painful as that may
Cannot
sound.
under any circumstances get rid of this horseman. You will lose immediately, so you have to give up the cards. I
Oh,
know it's painful, but you just have to do it.
oh, that feels miserable in this situation. As now we're looking for some questing here, and we will just send the evasive Iago on a little journey up for some lore. And I agree, that did feel horrible, but you do what you got to do. As we are going to quest this bell here, setting up the trade from the Headless Horseman, trying to incur 1 for 1 in a situation where even plus 50 times, you might as well just give up a 1 for 1 at this stage in the game to get that two questing Headless Horseman off the board. You are ahead in lore, but the board position is faltered here for Raymond.
Yeah, absolutely. And like even a Demona here on 6 Sync doesn't like do anything. Um, so that's not necessarily what you would want to see. Could go another Headless Horseman, pick off the Rafiki, challenge into Bell. Now there's only two characters on the opposite side, and you can clear the Hades with a challenge back. Might not be terrible. So another Headless Horseman could be okay here.
Yeah, yeah, just keep something, keep the energy going. Like trying to take a card off the board, especially in a plussing fashion. This head of swordsman did gain a card, so maybe you can gain another card and then make that trade. It seems a bit more, a more favorable for you, but still that Iago is just looming, just waiting for another bell, another Cheshire Cat, a Madam Mim elephant to bounce the thing back to the hand or something. Just only drama waits you if this Iago sticks around even longer, and there's nothing you can do about it because the thing is evasive, man, for whatever reason. So that's just a mess as you send your Cheshire Cat down to the inkwell to bring out another one.
Yeah, Cheshire Cat here, not really doing a whole heck of a lot. We are going to boost though. We
Uh,
can remove the Rafiki if we want,
yeah.
and also take out the bell. So, sort of what I was saying
Hmm.
with the Headless Horseman play. However, just doing the same thing with the Cheshire Cat.
And just kind of reducing the size of the board a little bit and just making the maximum use out of your resources. I don't hate that at all, Garrick. As the Elsa comes through, and never mind, Iago is going to chalk up another plus and taking full advantage of your Cheshire Cat heal situation. We're going to gain another plus right back on you as this Iago is just really breaking this matchup wide open, Garrick. Uh-oh, I lost Garrick's sound. I can't hear Garrick. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Is that me or Garrick?
My bad.
My
Yeah, Iago, you got to have some tech options. He is back in a major way, and the card is just so powerful. Having that 4/6 stat line, being able to come down on the 3 ink turn for the Blurple decks can really, really cause a lot of problems for other decks. If there's nothing you can do to remove him, he's going to get a 2 for 1 at the very least, if not a 3 for 1 or more, because these Amethyst decks have the Bell Accomplished Mystic and the Cheshire Cat available to them, so they can keep the Iago healthy. And you're seeing right now Jafar's reign maybe not over. The Spectral Parrot probably should have summoned a few more of these to fight the Illumineers.
That is true. Oh my goodness, dude. Oh my goodness, dude. So there it is. There it is. So I'm looking at my hypnotic strengths, man. I'm looking at my they never came back. So I'm looking at my magical maneuvers. I'm slamming them in the deck. They got to go in. They have to be played. This Iago has literally came on and soloed this whole matchup. It's just he's eating so good. Or maybe you can put some of those Bronxes in your deck or something. Just somebody that's just too big for him to consume in one fell swoop and live to tell the tale. But I don't know what that answer is. I think Ruby Amethyst may need to go. And just historically, Sapphire Amethyst has kind of had Ruby Amethyst's amethyst's number historically. And I think this is more the same here, especially without Be Prepared.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you could slam a B prep right now, you're so back. The game is so back. But unfortunately, that card does not exist currently in the core constructed format, as you're going to get your own Iago down a little bit late here, but we'll see what we can do. Cheshire Cat is not the worst play in the world. That Basil, though, looking really, really annoying. The support keyword is back in a major way. It was basically irrelevant. A character
Hmm.
with just support might as well have been a vanilla pre-fabled, but now support is so good. because this is a challenge matters sort of meta, unless you're wiping the board in Emerald, that support is really tough to try and deal with. You need to get those support
Hmm.
characters off the board, or things like Elsa are getting crazy value.
Yeah, I want more support, a full support strategy. I've been trying to make one with Sapphire and Amber. It has not been going well, as you could imagine, but I think there's something there, like getting the world's greatest criminal mind and the support keyword. But I'm glad to see that keyword getting a more love. I think they can get more of our lesser used keywords like reckless. I think they have a better part in our metagame. I want to see more rush being added. I think rush is too powerful, so they have to really nerve and be extremely careful when they use keywords like rush. And Ward also is sneakily super strong in this metagame right now. So find a
I
keyword
thought
near you and use it.
I thought Maui Hero to All, to bring back the OG again, was like the
Yeah.
perfect design for a reckless character because of the rush ability. Being inkable means that you could play him in your deck without worrying too much. It's just a solid it's not the engine of your deck. It's not gonna carry the game for you. It can't even quest.
Yeah.
So I really like that design. Rush and reckless, I think, is
Yeah.
something that maybe we should pair a little bit more together, because it just basically is a removal card, and that's it. As we have another headless horseman coming down, do we get rid of the Basil or the Elsa? We opt for the Elsa. Of course, we can challenge into the Basil here with Cheshire Cat and then move some damage. Actually, we're going to take the Hades because we get bonus strength because of the Headless Horseman. Now we can boost 2 damage
Woo!
off and remove the Basil. So look at that.
What a turn. That was a super rock solid turn coming in from Raymond. As we mentioned, both of those cards, two Whispers in the Well card, working very well in tandem. And that's a lot of things that you can miss. That's that skill stuff that we're talking about. They increase the strength, then have your challenge, and then you can boost. That's so much that you were able to do in one turn. And it just gives you a little bit more proactivity, I guess. Proactivity? Is that not even a word? As we got that they never came
There it
back. It's
is. It
going
is in the deck, just not able to find it at the right times. And
to.
now, like you said, Hades Infernal Schemer likes to show up in bunches, and there's his twin coming down, removing that Headless Horseman, putting it into the Inkwell. Raymond just one card in hand, staring down a couple of gods and a ninth wonder of the universe.
Dang, man. And this one is just really, really hard. I think we learned a lot. The ICL is not only about competition, but it's all about information as well. And it's about learning and growing. And everyone can take things that they see here and they can incorporate into their own games and their own playing experience. But if I'm playing Ruby Amethyst, you better believe I will be including a few more cards to engage with this Iago special pair, because that just seemed a bit unfair what Iago was able to do in that situation.
Yeah, a bit disgusting what
Yeah.
this Iago was doing for sure. Smashing buildings, caving in skulls, just destroying everything. As there it is again. There's the second one. Not where you want to see it, but unfortunately for Raymond, just not able to piece the cards together in the right order to get it done. And we did see last night, no, I'm not. Kendall Burdett was able to go up against Blurple and win with the Ruby Amethyst strategy, but things are not coming together here for Raymond. And I want to go all the way back to that turn number 2, where unfortunately we had to go double ones. Of course, you want to try and go under. So I don't think he had any choice in the matter. It's just not the preferred way to go about it. And I haven't seen any Lumières, to be honest.
Yeah.
Lumières, excuse me,
No, you're good.
which is a 2-drop that Ruby Amethyst players like to dabble with, as Tinkerbell comes onto the board. And we see a Demono freezing things a little bit, preventing the game from being absolutely over in
Oh,
combination with the They Never Came Back, which keeps the Hades exerted there. But Double Genie's probably going to
yeah.
really seal the deal here.
That is a very problematic double genie there. Double genie, double Hades. Sisu one time. Then you got it. We're gonna rub that card. You might have to rub that thing for some time to get that to turn into something to get you out of this situation. As double genie here on 8 ink turn, as the Iago is coming on a bit late. Dumbino, the ninth
There is
wonder,
Lumiere.
and there he is. As we're gonna just slam into a quest or challenge and clear some of those Hades, the Infernal Schemer, and that Iago is going to get. That's it. Okay, so we're gonna go GG, throw it up to Isaac, and man, what a match! It was a blaze, But the Ruby Amethyst, I think they're going to go down here in that spot. But Garrett, is it time? Let's hop over to the interview. Let's get to know these players a little bit and talk about what just went down.
I right after I said I'll take the Diablo with the Rafiki,
Oh,
I was like,
Peter.
I probably should have just left that there, not
my
giving
God.
Yeah,
it extra.
if you didn't, I drew into yet another uninkable. It was horse, genie. Yeah, it was
Yeah, so I had a feeling, and then after I said it, I was
really.
like, I'll just let it go, like it's fine. Yeah, and I felt like game one, I made some questionable decisions on what to take in the evasive wars.
Yeah,
Hello,
I
gentlemen.
also yes.
Very,
Hello.
very well played by both of you. We saw the Flower Farm take that round, but the People's Champion, at least my champion, the Ruby Amethyst, being represented there by Raymond. Let's talk about this matchup a bit. I think it is an interesting one to discuss for Ruby Amethyst and for Blurple as well. We'll start with Isaac. We saw No I'm Not. Kendall Burdett was able to win with this Ruby Amethyst strategy last night against Blurple. To be fair, the Blurple player did miss ramp in both games, but how much have you played as a Blurple player into this new and improved Ruby Amethyst strategy, and how do you feel about the matchup overall?
Yeah, I mean, well, missing ramp both games, that's not really a match, is it?
Yeah, right, for sure.
But yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I've been playing Blurple since I started, so this new, I haven't had too much trouble against it, honestly. As long as you don't play into their horsemen outs, and you win the evasive war. Like I didn't see a hypnotic on my opponent's side that game, so that was really nice. Once I noticed that Yago's just gonna be free to do whatever he wants. But yeah, if you could win the evasive war, it's pretty much all you need.
Yeah, you mentioned that Iago, and we were sitting here in the booth. Congratulations again on your victory, but we observed that Iago just get plus after plus after plus in this situation. Coming in on that third turn, fourth ink play, ramp to Iago seems like almost a GG in itself if they don't have those tools to get through it. But overall, like in this meta, we're talking about Sapphire Amethyst. Is there any other techs that you had in your deck that are good in other matchups that I would say?
Yeah, I mean, the Demona is good into the purple steel matchup on the play. Because, I mean, if they go Lexington on turn 3, you can tap it with your Elsa, follow up with the Demona, and basically it would act like my Demona in that first game. I did not really get to ready that at all. But yeah, other than that, like, you know, the less green-blue that's really been running around, like we were able to take Monstro out and fit in some more fighting cards.
Yeah, I think the strategy for Blurple is really interesting right now. It felt like, hey, we're at the top of the mountain. We've reached the peak. We're the best deck in the format last set, right? And then everybody this set was completely discounting it. It was over. Blurple is done. They go from best deck to like unplayable. But we're seeing now Blurple making a comeback. How did you feel about Blurple at the start of the set? Were you a little worried, or did you always have faith?
I always have faith because I trust that JDRR is gonna solve it, and he always does. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Blurple being the top dog last set, so I'm glad that it's got back to its roots and all the bandwagoners are off of it. I love that.
Dang, not the bandwagon, the Fairweather fans in the building holding it down.
Net deckers.
But I noticed you were playing the Junior Woodchuck guidebook. Are you also playing Tamatoa as well? Is that something that you've tried? And what are your thoughts on that card and also Tamatoa in this deck?
No, I'm not playing Tamatoas. It's the book itself is already a little slow, so
Yeah,
adding the Tamatoas makes it even more so. I was kind of debating whether I go back to like a set 10 or a set 9 deck and run second stars. So basically the books would have been stars, but I don't want to brick. So I put them out. I knew they'd mostly be inked unless it's like a blue matchup.
Okay. I like it a lot. I like it a lot, man. I really enjoyed the deck. I thought the way you played it was really nice to see. But you were not alone. You had to lock in with Raymond, who Raymond showed up. Shout out to you, Raymond. Thanks for playing. Unfortunately, it did not go your way in this situation. I mean, I'm certain you're gonna be seeing Iago's tonight in your sleep, man. But tell me about your deck as well. We still want to learn and hear from you. And what do you think you could have done better, if anything, or do you feel like it just wasn't in the cards for you tonight?
I think game one I should have mulled a little more aggressively. Mostly because like the format is like what you can't repeat the same ink pairings. So I kind of had a feeling like, okay, steel is gone. I can maybe play a little bit more aggressively if it's like a purple, like X anything, whether it's red purple or blurple. Since purple is on the rise. I know game two I definitely beefed it. Oh no, I should have just played. I wanted a double one drop just to like turn on the jets, and I was like hopeful that my Diablo would die and get me a card. But the Rafikis have no strength, and man, that sucks. I can't punch my Diablo back. But yeah, I had a really good curve in game two if I just had my turn 4. But I did not, and that was my fault. I like to be greedy. I do. Greed is good, especially in like a deck that has a lot of abled bodies that can just like who cares? I'll on turn 3 I'll ink my Sisu because I have more uninkables in my hand, and I'll just play a Diablo. I missed out on 1 health, but like he can punch back more often than not. And then like I did have Iago answers. I did want to test a little bit differently, like more on They Never Come Back. This card is insane. Like I had a cute little turn with the Demono locking the Hades to try and like just buy a little bit more lore time. I could have locked the Dumbo, but yeah, this card, thanks to like Tiago and Duck for putting me on. Like this card is, I don't know, man. Like I'll take a turn off on turn 3 against Steel to banish a Palace Guard and a Cobra and just feel like I've won right there. But yeah, I do feel like the matchup is somewhat favorable without the strength modifiers. Game 1, I just got overwhelmed by his evasives. Like it wasn't even close after a certain point. And then game 2, yeah, I had the 1, somewhat 2, 3, 4 Horseman and Demona. Like I had the God curve, but I just decided to,
risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah,
risk
we were
it
talking
for a terribly dry biscuit. Yeah.
we were talking about that during the match. I've been playing a decent amount of the Ruby Amethyst deck, and like every time I go double ones, it's like not exactly what I'd rather just Diablo every single time because you're gonna need the cards to ink up and get to your higher. But I mean that was the option that was given to you. Those were the cards that were dealt, and unfortunately ended up going the other way because the double Rafiki was just absolutely brutal, right?
Yeah, I do have to like just quest into it because I can punch back.
Yep.
But I was kind of like, it was like a desperation call, just like hit me instead, please. I beg, give me 1 card draw sooner. And no, I mean it was rightfully ignored for sure. And if he did ignore it the following turn or the turn that he did give me the card draw, I would have missed ink again, which is kind of insane at a 12 uninkable count. But yeah,
That's brutal, man. That's brutal. But I mean, it could have worked out. I mean, sometimes you gotta gamble, and sometimes you gotta risk, especially in a situation where you might not have the most favorable matchup. You gotta roll the dice sometimes, and it could have worked out, but this time it just so happened to not. So it is what it is, man. You gotta take those. You take those how it goes. But I'm sure you'll have other opportunities to get back at it. But gentlemen, I still thought the match was nice to watch. We all learned something, and we all got a little bit better. So I will appreciate both of you gentlemen for doing that.
I've got something that I
games.
would like to learn though, real quick. Raymond,
Yes, sir.
I'm hearing through the whispers in the well that you are really good at making grilled cheese. Have you seen the movie Chef?
No.
Okay,
No,
so
I
in
have
that
not.
movie,
Should I
John
watch it?
Favreau's, you should. John Favreau's character, he's got a food truck and he teaches. There's a scene where he makes like the perfect grilled cheese, and it is just a fever dream of I need that grilled cheese. So if you're making grilled cheese on the level of that film, I'm gonna need one at Richmond if you're gonna be there.
I need a ticket to Richmond.
Ah,
I'm so sad. I'm so
no,
sad.
I'm sorry
I
to bring
really
that
like.
up then.
Yeah, I really like the state of Red Purple Ruby Amethyst, and I'm only able to play at PPG. So I hope I just get lucky. I land on the page and there's a ticket waiting for me, and I can check out. That'd be sick.
Let's get it.
But yeah,
Well, I'll be seeing you down in PPG, Raymond, and it's gonna be an absolute vibe. But gentlemen, we do have one more round to get through, so we're gonna let you both go here at this time. But Isaac, we called you Isaac most of the time. I'm so sorry, Isaac. It's Isaac. We learned that later on, so please don't watch this back and judge us harshly. Congratulations to you on your victory. But we're gonna start with you, Raymond, first for any special shout outs you want to give, anything you want to say, or the floor is yours, wide open. You can say anything you want, literally anything.
oh man.
I'm kidding. Please censor.
I'm going to shout out Hector because he always gets upset when I say him last, and I often forget him. That's my team captain. I don't know why I forget him. I shouldn't. Shout out to Zach, Bivens, Chuck, Mikey, Jack, all the casters. You guys are so sick. Duck, Juancho, everyone from 20 Lore, Red Purple Chat, and definitely Tiago. Tiago's the best Lorcana player ever.
Go it. Absolutely.
That's
Okay.
it.
Right on. And we got Isaac in the building, our winner, tying this thing up, forcing a game number 3. I love a game number 3 here in the ICL on a Wednesday. So Isaac, please, the floor is yours. Any shout outs you want to give or anything you want to say, please take it away.
Yeah, shout out whoever corrected the pronunciation of my name. You're the goat. And of course, the ICL, all the judges, casters, you guys are awesome. JDR and the Flower Farm wouldn't be able to, be here if it wasn't for them. So, yep.
I like it, man. And shout out to Isaac. Okay, not Isaac. It looks like Isaac. I'm so sorry, Isaac. It's Isaac. Okay, we're gonna get it right. And we love your playmat as well. Did you do that yourself? That playmat that you have?
Yeah, I did. It's AI generated, and then I pieced it together a little bit.
Nice. It looks really clean. I did enjoy it, but you know what I'm saying? I don't like AI art, but thanks for admitting that. And I still think it looks really nice. It came out clean.
Hey, I'm not selling it. It was just for my use.
Right on. You're still a vibe. It's a vibe. All right, brother. Well, you guys take care, man. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We're gonna hop back into the booth and set up the next game.
Have a good one.
All right, brother. You too.
I'm back in the building. JDZ's got to wake up. He's got to lock in. He's got to get it together because who knows?
I'm in. I'm zooming. I'm here. I've been here. I just didn't say anything. I've been here. I've been zooming.
Right.
I was zooming, dude. I was zooming, dude. What a game. What a game.
It was.
Nope,
It was a little tough to watch as a Ruby Amethyst enjoyer. I don't think the matchup is too awfully bad. I think that Ruby Amethyst can win it, especially on the play, but things just didn't come together for Raymond. But we are getting into round number 3, and I am getting on out of here. I believe Wonderland is coming back in to finish things off. Unless
body's a wonderland.
It is. He is. He's in here, and
my body's a wonderland.
Well, I mean, JDZ's already singing the song.
Oh, my bad.
So
No,
thanks,
no,
everybody. I'll see you. I'll see you next week.
No,
Actually, I'll see you this Sunday for Luke's charity tournament. But you guys, I'm sure you'll talk about that in closing of the show. But shout out ICL. Thank you, everybody that showed up to watch today. We had over 100 people at one point, which is absolutely amazing. Share it with your friends. Some of the best Disney Lorcana that you're ever going to see twice a week, every week here on the ICL. We got round number 3, the all-important deciding match between Restand and Flower Farm. JDZ and Wonderland are going to take good care of you as they land this plane and get you into the final match. Thanks, everybody. I'm Garrick. I will see you next week.
I love Garrick, dude.
Boom.
Oh,
I was like
hey,
trying to
look.
set this up to show this before it. I made it just a little too small, too small,
fine,
so you
man.
could see the cards. All right, there we go, there we go. Figured we'd talk about it just a little bit while we wait for the players to set up and my child to stop screaming when I can hear him. But 1 second.
But this right here is something that's going to be going down this Sunday. Sunday. Keep it locked. Don't touch
Yeah.
that dial. Airplane mode on. Seat back up. Tray table stowed. We're taking off for charity. A good cause.
Yeah,
16 players.
something JD and we talked about doing different tournament events, and finally I got the ADHD spur to just do it. And we want to do something, you know, for other people. So we came up with this Questing for Charity event series that we're going to be doing. And we're going to start it off here this Thanksgiving. It's a little sudden. I promise to the people who will participate in the series, we will give them more notice than a week beforehand, you know, to get it going. But we're going to try to do it we'll be doing it this Sunday. We have basically everyone locked in so far, and we'll be making some pushes on the social media here in the next few days to show off the players and the casters. Some of your favorite casters, and some of the casters you would think would be there are not, but that could be because they're playing. You know, you'll never know. But we should probably go back to the main thing, and if you want to help with the donations, we do actually have a link now finally created, so you can check that out. We're going to have that post up on the screen, so as we're playing you'll see how the progress bar goes. Hopefully we blow it out of the water. That would be pretty nice, I think, if it does. But you know, we're here for the ICL tonight, and we're in for the last third one. I mean, both Garrick and I predicted a sweep, and we were wrong.
Who'd you guys say would sweep? Each person thought the other person would sweep the other person?
Yeah. Garrick went for the flower farm. I went for Restand. Garrick was knocked out in the first round. I was knocked out in the second round. His initial was going to be a 2-1, but he said they were going to win the first two, and then he was like, "Oh, they'll win the third two." So who knows? Maybe he was seeing the future a little weird here. But
a little vision of the future. A little Merlin's carpet bag.
Looking at 5 cards. Yeah.
Merlin's handbag over here, as it may be. But we got another knockdown drag out. Mikey is in the building. Restand. Maybe he's playing a little bit of Sapphire Amethyst, but I don't know about what David Critch might be on tonight. We're going to find out here soon. And maybe they're playing Ruby Amethyst. I wouldn't be surprised if we got an inverse of the last match that we just had, as a Ruby Amethyst versus Sapphire Amethyst. I think that'd be really nice to see
Amethyst everywhere.
Yeah, just nonstop Amethyst power hour. Have we had that yet? Have we had a full on one color all 6 rounds before? Or all 6 players?
We are good to start here. As soon as the judge is ready and the players are ready. So we probably gonna be going here. It looks like they're getting up. I feel like we've definitely had like 2 or 3 mirrors in a row, but I can't think if we've had like everyone's played one ink color the whole time.
I don't think
if it's happened, it's been steel, and it was probably in season 1.
Yeah. And if it's steel, I don't know. Steel just seems like such a auxiliary color. You don't really notice it as much as amethyst, which seems like such a main color. But we won't be seeing that as we break the code unless it is emerald and amethyst. We got the basil going down to the inkwell. The Clarabelle is out on 1, so maybe this is more of that sapphire and emerald strategy. I know you like this deck a lot. I mean, what do you think about this versus Blurple? That's indeed what it is. Yeah, Mikey's on Blurple for sure.
You're like, there's no way the Haze does not on the Blurple train. The matchup kind of goes either way. I think it depends on if the decks are geared to beat that particular deck. Blurple can try to go high over, like when they're playing Second Stars and like really in on that package. It made the matchup a lot closer and more difficult. Nothing feels worse. I played Bend on my opponent. They started their turn. They played Finders Keepers, drew 3 cards, and then played a Genie. And I was just like, well, that didn't feel good.
That was kind of worthless. I've had it go both ways. I've played a Bend on someone, and then they top deck the Second Star to the right with the Singers, and they take me out. Or I've played you take down you take it down, and then you do the opposite, or you play the second star, and then you play the bend after that, and it just seems like the best thing in the world. So it's like one of those, you know, two in the hand, one in the bush type situations or whatever. As the malicious, mean, and scary is down in the inkwell. Did we ramp on 2?
No, I was just about to say, Mikey here's had the traditional start 1, 2, 4, with some ramp where David trades away the Clarabelle. That's not the gameplay we're doing, or we just have another shift in hand, but we're just slowing down Mikey from trying to run away with Lore, while probably trying to set up a Prince Philip combo. But not having ramp is gonna make it rough. Yet I like to ramp with this deck as much as possible. Get down that Clarabelle, get down something else to wipe the board.
Yeah, all of your best plays are going to be deeper in your inkwell, and taking it slow, 1 ink at a time, is not the way you want to do it.
Ramp.
Sell the Azurite C is down on 4. Maybe this is that Cinderella, and there she is. Dreams do indeed come true, and Cinderella is going to be able to give you a bit more acceleration here on your 4 ink turn. But you rather get a on 2 and then an on 4 type beat, but it is what it is. As this Prince Philip is probably going to be frozen in place, not able to quest. You are threatening combo next turn. If you have it, you can ink shift and then sing, or ink sing shift with the with either of those characters.
Yeah, it's really brutal for David here. Getting Mike down to 2 cards, he's drawing 1 for turn, and then activating Dumbo twice to draw 2 more goes up to 5. And then we're just going to deploy a couple characters with that last few ink, either 1 or 2, but we're just filling up our hand so much while also gaining lore and deploying to the board to make it so if David does have the combo shift to try to wipe the board, it's not going to matter all that much. Although I'm assuming David is going to be throwing that Cindy on the bottom of his deck.
Yeah,
I get highly unlikely.
Yeah, I'd get it out of it unless you had the patent pending 6-turn Clarabelle play to gain some of those cards right back. That could have been a vibe if you did have that, but it might be an indicator that you don't have it.
That's a rough turn, though. We how much ink did we have there? Did we not draw? Like, if we curved out, I feel like we had 1 extra ink on that turn to draw a card, but I don't know if we actually did or not.
You talking about with the Cinderella?
With the Dumbo and or the Iago, or if we just quested with them, because we paid 5 for the Hades, which answers the Cindy, but it means that if we get Philip combo, that's 1 less resource we have still in hand.
Yeah, I think he's all in on the combo, and there it is. So we are gonna go full malicious mean Prince Philip exert 6 ink, and that could be enough to get you back in. But I can't tell how many cards are in Mikey's hand. It has to be a nice amount, as you've gained quite a bit on that Dumbo exchange last turn. As the Junior Woodchuck Guidebook is also representing another card, 2 cards here.
This is kind of frustrating for Mikey. I think he's actually in a pretty bad spot. 8 lore is not near enough to burst out, because David is at a position that he has all the ink, and if he only has top end answers as his last few cards, like if he goes ink Clarabelle, like that's really rough for Mikey. Like he has so many cards in hand already, that he's not deploying more threats on this turn. He's taking time off. Like his hand has to be things. Even if he had a Hades, I feel like he still might have just played that. It's still a little rough.
I mean, he only has 2 cards left in hand,
I guess.
Yeah, and if one of those cards is a Hades the Infernal Schemer, I think he is so back. The Iago now, if you arm him with a hypnotic strength or something, you could probably engage with this Prince Philip, or maybe even a Cheshire Cat or a Bell next turn. If this Prince Philip becomes exerted, you can clear it. But you just need to avoid, I think, like you said, like a Basil or something to bounce back to the hand, or maybe you set up that Clarabelle a little bit later. You can't even play it. Never mind. As you only got 6 ink. 4 ink left. It is the Donald Duck, Perfect Gentleman, and we're questing into the face of Iago. This could be a dangerous quest here coming in from David. Let's see if he goes through with it.
It's a 6/6 evasive, right?
Yeah.
Iago's a 5/6. So if
right.
Mikey is if Mikey has the Elsa, I'm assuming he's just taking out the Donald Duck.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And
so it just closes the lore lead that Hayes has over David.
Unless you can, I mean, maybe Hayes is hit with the program and has a hypnotic strength here, and you can boost Iago strong enough to just run over this Prince Philip right now and just get rid of it. And then maybe you can draw some more cards off of this perfect gentleman yourself. Getting up to 8 in the Inkwell, you are going to drop the Elsa now, taking out that perfect gentleman, just like you said. And I think that is a clean +1 and stopping your opponent from being able to draw those cards with that perfect gentleman.
Is Iago a
Oh!
force 5? How big
He's
is
into the
Iago?
unknown. Iago's a 4/6.
A 4/6. Okay.
Yeah, and we played the beautiful and enchanted Into the Unknown, sending that Prince Philip down into the Inkwell as well. So this is a fantastic turn for Hayes, as that is the clean out to an exerted Prince Philip. The Cinderella dreams come true is down again to continue to shake your hand up a little bit more.
It is an out, but at the same time, it's just ink, which helps David in a manner of ways if he has ways to draw cards or to play something big to do something. It is kind of a rough spot though, because he normally wants to use a Clarabelle to draw cards and refill, but Mikey's kind of out of cards and is just playing whatever he draws off the top. But he doesn't have much pressure, luckily for David. 9 lore, but he only has 3 more threats in play. They are individual threats, so it does diversify it a little bit, which is good.
And he does have that Iago just gaining plus after plus after plus. We saw that in the last round, and now it's back at it again. Oof. But another Prince Phillips coming on through, able to get a nice raw use of his ability without even using a malicious meaning scary, just getting rid of those damaged characters. That was a really strong Prince Philip in that situation.
Oh, well, do we have the patent pending, as you would say, genie into genie into more amazing cards? Just one genie. We didn't play the second card. What do you think it is?
The second card has to be a Demona Wyvern Clan.
Elsa.
And there is the Clarabeezy keeping it easy. Maybe it's another Into the Unknown, as you're thinking about questing this Prince Philip now and again to see if that Into the Unknown is going to happen to you one more time. You're like, that 3 lore is irresistible, getting all the way up to 6 now.
It's tasty old lore.
You gotta have it. Give me. Give me that lore. Give me.
I cannot wait for Sunday.
Give me that lore. So we're going to get a nice little quest for 3 in with I like it, man. And if another Into the Unknown befalls you, you're going to have to just deal with that on the other side, as Mikey is low resource now. And there it is. Oh my goodness. Into the Unknown sends another Prince Philip.
That had to be the card. Yeah, he drew that. He's like, what am I going to do with this? Are they in a quest? Yep. Yes, he will.
Yeah, and that's 2 Into the Unknowns, but the Clarabelle still standing alone and unafraid now, able to get you some cards, but you cannot swat away at these very elusive and evasive characters, Genie and Elsa. Silver? Two characters who've been around for a while. Looks like a 8.
Hades?
Another
no.
one? 9?
No. 8.
It's the Under the Sea.
Oh!
Wow. That was a good Under the Sea.
That's the third board wipe. That's the third board wipe of the game.
And that is a nice little quest for 2 as well. But you still can't get any of that Clarabelle value, that juicy Chinese meal of drawing some more cards there with this Clarabelle.
Succulent. That's succulent Chinese meal. Oh, but that's quite succulent for Hayes there. Sending that Clarabelle, everyone's sweet, goofy sweetheart, into the Inkwell.
Light on their hose, but David has not sent any of his own Hades the Infernal Schemer. So you did break serve, show Hades first, as it looks like we're gearing up.
I'll let you into a secret, JD.
What's that?
People are cutting Hades from this deck.
Really? I've seen the Quakester. I know Quakester is one of the thought leaders of this color combination. I know he's kind of reducing the amount of Hades the Infernal Schemer. I don't like it, man. I think Hades is too
Mother
good.
knows best. It's a tempo-based world. Clarabelle is super important. Yeah. So instead of giving them ink to dump their hand, you're just putting it back in their hand. Obviously, in a scenario where they have a Hades and you don't, you're really feeling bad. But in those other matchups, it's pretty big.
I let them cook, man. These guys are much better than me, so I have to just kind of ride in their wake. But I love me some Hades the Infernal Schemer. Mother knows best. I mean, I'm happy breaking on Uninked. I also don't like that. as we are sending a ton of ink, and there he is, another one. And gentlemen, this is democracy manifest.
Ooh.
The Junior Woodchuck guidebook just on the board. Please send the Clarabelle one and pop this thing one time for the fans, please. Just
Oh my goodness, that would be insane. That would be insane, JD.
Please.
That would be so good. Like Hades and Baby Cow? Come on.
Oh, no. And
Oh, okay.
it
Max
is-
Goof is...
That's cool. That's a vibe. We're here. As
I
the
almost
Max-
died thinking of that Baby Cow.
Oh, we did not have the baby Clarabelle to pop this Junior Woodchuck guidebook, who is on the board now, just kind of sitting, and you can cash it in as your instant rebate, gain you 2 cards a little bit later, as Mikey Hayes Malou is looking to do that.
What do you expect from such a clumsy guest such as Clarabelle not to be showing up when you actually need her to
Man, that would
answer
have been too
something?
funny. I would have been sad, but you got to do it. I like the play of just staging the book and then
Oh, it's
drawing
great.
a little bit later to save yourself a little bit of that inkwell and keeping your tempo maxed out, I suppose, or using all your resources and utilizing all your ink. But that could have been a quick and immediate punish.
I actually think it might. It's a tough question. All right, JD, do you play around a clumsy Clarabelle destroying your item, or do you play around a light on her hooves Clarabelle drawing more cards because you left
True.
it in your hand? Which one is more punishing? I'm a conservative player. I think I would, if I had thought about the small Clarabelle, which I know there's one gone, probably another in the inkwell at some point from the Cinderella. I might have kept it in hand because those cards are that important.
Mm-hmm.
But Mikey did not and got rewarded.
You got to risk it. Yeah, I love a little bit of risk versus reward, and sometimes it works out for you, and sometimes it doesn't. And that time, it just so happened to work out for Mikey, as the Hades looking for a deal. This Hades seems good. I mean, this is another one of those. I like to point out when they're good and when they're bad, because both scenarios are good for you. As you drawing 2 cards in this spot, not bad, but another Clarabelle kind of stings the nostrils a bit there.
If there's a Clarabelle, you're kind of in rough. That was a Hypnotic. I was gonna say in the last 2 matches, Hypnotic Strength would have answered Iago's and been amazing. And here we see Mikey inking one, showing that he has he's realized this. A lot of people have been cutting Hypnotic Strengths. Mikey's like, nah, fam. Like, I know this is good. Everyone's on Iago.
Yeah, I'm confident. I agree with you 1,000%. I think Hypnotic Strength comes back in a major way going into the next series of competitive events. I think it's just too. I think what Iago just did in that previous round, you got to clip them feathers again. I think he's too
both
much.
Players had him.
Yeah, he's just very prominent, prevalent card
Where
right now. And
were you?
When I needed you, you were not there. And it
Do you
looks
think
like
we're shuffling it?
We are.
Do we shuffle the Clarabelle back in our deck?
With the "You're welcome," I don't hate that at all. This is with the "You're welcome."
No, it's got to be a song, right?
It's got to be a song, and it will go to the bottom, and you will net yourself 2 cards in this exchange. I like that a lot, as the Clarabelle light on her hooves or clumsy guest.
It's so good. It's such a good synergy.
Yeah, I like this. I like this. Why don't more people play this Max Goof card? He seems too legit to quit, man.
It's very. The opinions I've seen on it have been very polar opposites. I want to say jaded, and I know that's wrong.
It's a mixed bag.
Yeah, it's just to the extremes. People have been like, I like it or I hate it. And it's kind of just like, you need to know what it's for and why it's there. And that's kind of why we only see it as a 1 or a 2 of when we see it. But it just runs away with like in certain games. Being able to re-sing the "You're welcomes" over and over. It lets you shuffle in like some good, multiple times. It's just good.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it, especially like you said, if you're going for this mother knows best situation, he just works well with that, keeping people off of their tempo and just messing them up and just being a nice threat that people just are going to look at him. They're going to see this guy. I'm like, okay, I don't want him to do his thing to me, and it's going to force your opponent to engage with him. Which is also, there's some merit there in a card when your opponent just has to deal with it and use their things, and you kind of focus their energy where you want it to be just by his sheer existence. So that's kind of cool. As we have, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, with Cinderella coming in, everyone was super hyped on it, and let's do a price check. yesterday Cinderella was down to like $33 on TCG
Yeah.
Player, which
Cards
is
cheap, man.
insane.
Buns.
$32.75 with $36 with shipping. But that said, it's because we're going 2-4-6, right? And that's
Right.
another reason why Max Goof is better now, or seeing some play, is we want to have more powerful 6-drops to be playing, and 4 John Silver's not enough.
What happened to that Max Goof, by the way?
I blinked.
Oh, the monstrous whale. That's a monstrous whale
there's
there.
There's a giant whale over there.
Oh, my bad. I thought that was another one of the Hades looking for a deal. That is a giant rushing whale that came through and knocked his block right off. So there he is in the discard pile.
That's a card that's also seen less play. But Hayes is like, no, people are gonna not expect it. If it's seen less play, it still has a purpose.
Gotcha. Okay. I agree. I like what Hayes' deck is cooking, as he's kind of prepared for what is to come in this new Wizards in the Well metagame. You're putting a lot of the mainstays back in that people are getting rid of, and I think the deck seems to be better served for it, as the Hades, the Infernal Schemer, now is questing and being bounced and then being redeployed and sending the Evasive Genie probably down into the Inkwell. I like that play a lot. A little bit of mix and match stuff. 10 cost play.
So it's neat because now you save your Hades from a Monstro, but if it was just another copy of Hades, you'd have 2 Hades. We don't know how many Hades are in David's deck, though. This is still game 1. We got quite a bit. The score is really close. But Monstro is actually one of the cards that really flips the matchup a little bit, or at least like equalizes it. When I started playing this deck, people were not all on Monstro yet, and the matchup's a lot easier when they don't have Monstro. But when they're on a heavier end, a higher top end with Monstro and more card draw, it's a lot rougher because they can actually answer your gigantic characters, whereas in just an Elsa's kind of laughable.
Yeah, when you come out and you have your Hades exerted and your Clarabelle's exerted and Monstro comes through and just blasts both of them, it feels so bad. As the Ursula Whisper of Vanessa is going to come on through. We are sailing here, just cycle another card, and then we will base boost our Whisper Vanessa to her maximum ability, getting her out here. Now she's an evasive 3-quester, putting the pressure on to David now, who needs to make something happen. You've used a ton of great cards, multiple of your Hades, you use some of your welcomes, Max Goof, your mother knows best. You've pulled a lot of your tricks of the trade. We have not seen a Basil yet, but Basil seems terrible here to send another card back to your opponent's hand. He's looking for a deal.Ades also, you won't want to send those back to hand either.
Basiling the Ursula is probably fine. Oh no, they get a return to their hand, so yeah, that is. Robot House! This boost is so good. Like, when it's good, it's good.
Yeah. You might have to do it because that's just so much pressure. You're talking going up to 19 next turn, but the Basil Detective coming through, giving your opponent an additional card with that boost, and they can just redeploy it and boost again next turn, and you still got a problem to deal with, as the reckless John Silver is going to come on through. Greedy Pirate, Space Pirate, Greedy Pirate. That's his name. John Silver, Greedy Pirate, final answer. Is it Greedy Space Pirate?
You're a greedy space pirate.
I know. It is Greediest. Is it Greediest Pirate? Alien Pirate. Oh man, I was wrong. I'm an idiot. Oh my god. Oh, we tried. That was Greedy. Why did I get Greedy from? Maybe because he's so that pot belly he has just lets me think that he's a little bit greedy there. He's been slamming Natty Ices for weeks, man.
Greedy Treasure Seeker is the Steel 3 cost one.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. There it is. That's where I got Greedy from. Peak performance right there. As the board is empty, this is looking all Mikey all the time here. The board has gotten incredibly wide. Hades looking good, and we will be going right to Scoop Town, getting on into the all-important game number 2. Well, semi-important. Game number 3 is the all-important game number 3. The pretty important game number 2.
I mean, it's pretty important for Hayes, I think, and it's also really important for David. He has to win this game to even see the all-important game 3.
There it is. I think I believe David needs to get that ramp on 2 to match the acceleration of the Sapphire Amethyst deck. They just kind of got there a little bit faster than you did this time, but I think you go ramp on 2, and then you can Cinderella on 4, and then you can just do all of your degenerate Emerald and Sapphire things. Kind of came out of the gate a bit slow there. You were on the draw as well, so missing ramp on the draw feels pretty obnoxious there. So what do you think he needs to do, though? I mean, how is there anything else? We saw his deck. He has more of the song build with the Mother Knows Best, the Max Goo. You played this deck a bit. What are some other keys to victory that David needs to get to in order to match with what Mikey Hayes is cooking?
Well, first of all, is playing ramp on turn 2, which we saw
gotta
in
do
this. So that alone just allowed Mikey to just be really aggressive and do what he wants. So like David basically, for those MTG heads, got time walked. Eventually, we'll have that card in Lorcana. I don't know what it'll be. If it'll be a song, I feel like A Whole New World very well could have been that too. Maybe there's some lyrics from that song that would work. But basically a card that lets you take another turn. It would have to be like a 15 cost sing together song. It would be so busted, but
like take another turn, like ready your characters and draw another card and everything.
Yeah, you get a whole new turn. You get a quest again. You get to do whatever you want.
There's no chance we'll ever get that card.
It probably shouldn't be a song. It's probably okay as like an 8 or 9 cost action.
You get to ready your ink and everything.
Yeah. Do you guess how much that card costs in Magic the Gathering Time Walk?
$400.
No, I meant as the cost to play.
I would hope. Well, Magic's ink is a little more rich, I would assume. So like it costs, things should cost less there, then we should have to pay more. So I would say it would have to cost at least seven mana, but with multiple things in there, like one fire, one swamp or something.
The fixed quote unquote remade version costs 5.
Oh.
The original Time Walk costs 2.
2?
2. It is known as the Power 9. It's one of the most busted cards in existence.
What,
it is $1,000. It's thousands of dollars. It is busted. They did not reprint it. It is restricted. You can only play one. It's crazy. That's why in Lorcana it would have to cost 8 or 9. And even in Magic, it's
in that game, like when you play it, do you get to ready your mana as well?
Yes. It literally means you finish doing whatever you're doing, and when you say I end my turn, instead of your opponent getting a turn, you get another turn.
That's so stupid. Why
it's actually in most card games. Riftbound has it. I think Hearthstone might have had it.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We have Fiber Jar.
We hit the ramp. He has the ramp. It is a game for David. He's so rampy. He even inked a sail, which I don't know if I like that. One of my favorite plays with this deck is going Tipo on 2, turn 3, sail, 3-drop. Or if we're super rich, we're not really playing Pleakley anymore, but going Tipo into sail, Pleakley the Tipo, the next turn just play a Clarabelle for 7 on turn 4.
Yeah, just chunk it right out there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I like it.
But Hayes matching some ramp. Do we have a Cinderella off of David's play? I'm assuming that's what we're doing, and that's why we inked the sail.
Oh, no, we have the Perfect Gentleman, which is not a bad 4-cost character in this exact scenario. It can withstand some Elsa Basil shenanigans, which is a very powerful tool there. So I don't hate the Perfect Gentleman in this spot. Maybe I would have liked the Cinderella a little bit more. I mean, but you're setting yourself up for that Clarabelle, as here is that Iago again on 4. Tipo now questing freely, leaving the Basil up and active. So David has a much more suitable opening to this game. Looking for a nice, but this deck really doesn't do much on 5. What are some great 5-turn plays for this deck, aside from maybe ramping a little bit more? Shifting a Clarabelle would be nice, but you don't have the small one set up just yet. Stare down continues. No, you're good.
I had to fix something. So with yesterday's match, I tried to adjust things so we could jump into another match. And so I had to change some website or some links basically, and I did not change the ink ones back, so this whole time they've just not been updating, but they're so small I don't pay attention to them. It has a bonus and a negative. Let me know in chat. Do you like having the ink things there in the corner? Do you want it bigger, smaller, somewhere else? Do you not care how much ink the players have?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's I mean,
I
it
like
helps.
it, but
It helps us. Probably it gives you, as long as the players keep it updated. I never put it on mine because I never I'm always doing it myself, and I just don't
you're like,
want
I don't want to keep track.
I don't want to keep track of their ink, so I just let them. I let them do it their own way. As we play to develop our brain, we are going to hard play the malicious, mean, and scary just to take down the Basil, and then Tipo can take down the Tipo. That's a pretty cool turn, and we are going to be able to sing MKB onto the Iago, keeping that board clear. But our hand is also clear, and we did not put anything into the inkwell, though. Interesting indeed. Telling a story about what the hand has to offer as we pass it back on over. I think we did ink one. I might be mistaken.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but we only have 2 cards in hand as well. He inked John Silver. Says
Oh, he did. Okay. So I am bugging a little bit as the Iago, the giant spectral parrot, makes his triumphant return after a Sell the Azerite Sea installment there, passing it back on over now, going into our 6 ink turn. We get 2 with the perfect gentleman. I like that ramp on from Mikey's turn.
Looks like Florida's internet is having some issues.
It happens. They might be enduring a nice tropical storm, I would say. Probably not. Hopefully everything is going well there.
Hopefully not.
In the Orange State.
As
Sunshine
Ashley
State
was in the middle of the country, but yet then was experiencing a possible tornado the other day.
Freaking out.
It's just like, why is the siren going off? Oh, they do that once a week or once a month. As long as it's not like dark and scary out. She's like, well, it is dark and scary out. Well, then get shelter. Seek shelter.
Hop in the tub, man. That's what I tell people. Just hop in the bathtub, and hopefully it passes you over. As we're trying to pass over some more ink into our inkwell, and you don't find it, but you're welcome. Sending the Iago back to the deck, allowing 2 more cards come in from Mikey, who is trying everything they can to play around this inevitable Clarabelle, which you just know Mikey is trying, or David is trying to set up, and Mikey's trying to keep his hand at a modest point, so you can't really get too much tremendous Clarabelle value. As we are going to ink that bell. What do we got? Is it another Iago? Is he back at it again for the 3rd time? No, it's the Dumbo.
Dumbino.
into the unknown, giving you that critical ink that you need to bring forth that Clarabelle. But there are only 2 cards in hand, I believe, from Mikey.
That Belle is not happy with that play. Look at that scowl. She's not having it.
You inked me? How dare you? Yeah, I couldn't look at that Belle all day. I'd be so she looks so disappointed in David.
And he's not playing very many characters, so he's not always covering her up. So she's just always scowling negatively at him. Only 1 card? No, that looks like multiple cards in Mikey's hand, so he might be able to draw at least 1 there. 2 even.
2.
That's
I think it's 3.
Not a bad cow. Not a bad Clarabelle.
Yeah,
we had a card in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he gets to draw 2 more. And then Mikey, drawing more cards, which feeds the Clarabelle, but we do have 6 more ink, so we can afford to ink to play a Hades to answer this Clarabelle. But she's kind of done her job already, and if we don't have an answer to this Clarabelle, then the game might be over. But we have it.
Yeah, there is that Hades the Infernal Schemer, as we have discussed, as his Tipo growing son has been on the board for a while, and he has weathered the storm from combat and lived to tell the tale. He's definitely aged beyond his young, tender years, as he has made it all the way into this deep terrain. We're talking 9 ink turn. Tipo still hanging tough on the board since turn number 2. You absolutely love to see it, as we are going sailing now, getting on those treacherous waters of the Azerite Sea. Deep terrain, ramping more.
An interesting play. It probably means we just had a 6 drop we were already planning on playing. We have extra ink. Let's draw to see something else. But no, we are inking a small Clarabelle, a clumsy little cow who isn't going to do much here. We don't really need to be shifting, and it seems unlikely Mikey's going to give us too many opportunities to blow up books.
Yeah, not anymore. Probably after seeing that Clever's play, like, I'm not doing that again. As the schemer, scheming and dreaming, coming on through one more time. We're sending that Dombino down into the inkwell. I think that is the correct answer. Seeing that Hades there, matching with your Hades, you don't hate it, but you just hate to see that evasive character just get loose, giving Mikey too many more cards. So now both players holding on to a ton of ink. Not a lot of lore. I mean, both of these Illumineers are just trying to vie for position, not really trying to go for the win at this point, just trying to out control each other, out grind.
It's one of the big issues with the Emerald Sapphire deck is its ability to win is slow.
Yeah. After they drop the combo on you, they can then get it loose with the Prince Philip pretty quick. But I agree.
Time.
Yeah.
That's 7 turns if they have no answers.
I mean, it adds up, man. The Prince Philip and the Hades together, it goes. They can turn it on really, really fast later on.
If they do have answer, and your the opponent does not also have answers back, then yes, they can. But the deck tends to play a haymaker to answer something and then play a haymaker. So if you're haymakering back and forth, while you also have a couple small things questing, those small things questing are going to do a lot of work.
Oh, but he's in a position though. Look, if he has the song, he can malicious mean here, and then Prince Philip, and then you have a 5-piece coming back your way every turn, and this thing will go up pretty quick. But he doesn't have that play. He probably would have slammed it immediately had he had that with this Whisper Vanessa, who also has the ability to actually turn up the gas super fast. I've seen this card, and I would be surprised if people don't play this card more. She can end the game pretty quick too with that 3 quest.
What if he has 2 Prince Philips and Mean in hand, and the reason he's tanking is he's deciding whether or not he wants to sing it, or if he wants to challenge the Hades and just play one of them, then having a backup one for the next turn. Or it just looks like we don't have it, and we're going to pay 7 for a Basil.
Yeah, playing 7, getting that Whisper Vanessa all the way up off the board, back to the hand, and now I'll be interested to see if you're going to send this Hades in on a quest. That's probably good before you get a chance to boost her up to get her back into the hand with a little extra resource there. That's a good. Seemed like a good Basil, also representing a nice piece of lore. Dave, notably not questing in that situation, probably not trying to get sent into the unknown again, and just trying to build a pretty steady board or getting monstroed out of your bits and wits as well. There's a lot of things that can befall you in this critical, precarious situation. Just trying to run your opponent out of cards before you start to commit to those dynamic plays. And there she is. The Whisper has returned. Check it. Make that 2. And we're
getting aggressive.
Yeah, I like it. I like the approach. I like the card a lot, Luke. I'm telling you, this card is going to be up, man. People are might be sleeping on the Ursula Whisper Vanessa, as her stats are incredible. Her effect is amazing, and it is a vibe. That's Tipo down, going up to 10 ink. What are we doing now? This would be a perfect time to go full combo. You don't have it. You hate to see it.
I wonder what we're doing for our turn here. That we're gonna play the Cinderella. So this means to me that we have another bad card in hand. No,
maybe
just Cinderella in general. That's interesting.
Yeah, maybe just a few pieces away from that full combo right now, as I'm certain Mikey has to be very, very aware that this combo is almost imminent here in this situation, and it's got to be at least one piece away from that puzzle being complete, as it looks like we are engaging in fisticuffs. Questicuffs. Never mind, we're questing here.
Questicuffs.
we're questing. We're going on a little journey here as the Basil disguised detective is going to come on through and hit. Beautiful and enchanted as well. Gorgeous Demona.
It would have been a pretty good Demona, I think.
Yeah, getting some value, clearing probably the entire board if you would have wanted, but maybe not. No, I don't think you can. Demona does not have rush. I always forget you need the Grimorum Arcanorum to complete that, but it is what it is, as we are going to cycle another card with our Cinderella now. So Mikey has to be afraid of this combo. It could just be moments away.
That means we had no pieces of the combo. So we had Tipo, another not good card, probably a second Cinderella or another Tipo or one cost Clarabelle there. We just sent away the John Silver into the ink and trade away Ursula with the Basil, a flavorful challenge there. And, you know, we're kind of just adding more lore to play, saying, continue to answer my threats. I don't think you can.
Yeah, and we're questing. Did he boost that Ursula Vanessa or no? Did he not have the ink
I think
available?
So. I do see a card underneath it.
Okay. All right, so here it is. We're looking like we're gearing up to hopefully sing with the Cinderella if you're David, because you need that bad girl moving around and opening up them vocal cords to get that malicious meaning scary. But she has engaged in fisticuffs, and that is the last thing. Oh, he's out. Never mind. This is actually quite decent.
No, it's not enough, sadly. We're out of cards in hand, and that is an evasive 3-quester, and we're going up to 18.
Oof. That is, and we cleared up too.
To.
Yeah, I'm talking about the visuals cleared up there. The camera fully focused now, right at the end.
Oh no!
Quick 2 cards.
I guess
man.
It doesn't really matter anything. Why are we given 2 cards?
Quick 2 cards,
we can challenge the Ursula. We can challenge
with the Prince Philip.
So we do at least have something, but so we have to answer the Ursula and the Hades, because the Hades finishes the game. So we need to top deck a Clarabelle, so then we can challenge both and hope that Hayes is not deploying another character this turn. And then somehow we stabilize with Hayes at 19.
Oh.
We get to keep our Prince Philip. We get to keep all of our threats. If Mikey draws worthless cards, but that is not what David needed. Literally.
Yeah.
A Clarabelle or a Hades could have brought him back in. A Clarabelle could have done a really good job there. I'm saying leaving him at 19 lore because he would have been able to quest with the other Hades.
Right on.
So that was kind of a dangerous game, but that was close. There was a world that he could have gotten out. If you want to jump on over, JD.
100%.
I'm hopping in.
I only play 1 Hades or 2 Hades in this deck, so it's gonna fucking hurt.
And here we are, gentlemen.
Here we
are we here? Are we here? David,
yeah,
Mikey.
Yeah, here you guys. Yeah, here
right
you guys.
right on. Mikey, congratulations on your victory. You got it done.
Thank you.
Restand has re-stood up in the standings and got to the absolute Dublinsky. Unfortunately for David, you had to go down this time, but I still thought the games were very well played. Mikey, you're back on Sapphire Amethyst. We saw Sapphire Amethyst on the Flower Farm side last round, and here we are in round number 3. You're playing it again. A lot of people thought it was out. We thought it was dead. Certainly, Mike is going to be locked in with it. Tell me about this deck overall in reference to the meta game, and tell me about your specific deck. What are some cards that you're playing that people should be playing right now?
Well, I think we saw a little bit of the Ursula. It's more of like a test spot right now, but against other Sapphire decks, I like her a lot. She's just a quick clock, and her being a 4/5 body is very relevant. Obviously, we have a lot of stuff on 5. Yeah, yeah. I mean, close for sure. And then the boost. I think the boost comes into play a lot more than people think. So, like, I'm playing Elephant. I didn't get to do anything that game with it, but you can like double booster, quest, and draw 2 cards off of her sometimes. Like 1 turn booster, booster again, bounce. That's pretty cool to draw some extra cards.
Even here against David, that alone, like if you had had the extra ink to boost it a few times when he had to bounce her, or it just makes her not a good target for his Mother Knows Bests and Basil's. She definitely is doing a lot of work for you there.
Yeah, no, she felt really good against blue. I almost like switched away from Monstros and Ursulas and went to more like purple centric, but green blue, I don't know. It's like I hate losing to it, and there's so little you can do. So I just want to put all the cards I can to have my best shot. And I think honestly, and I didn't get to do it against David this game, but being able to play Guidebook after you ramp twice with Blurple is really, really good against green-blue. So, like, you can, sail on turn 2, and then on turn 3, you can, like, Tipo and Guidebook, and you're welcome. You're like, okay, that's fine. I'm at 5 ink going to 6, and I don't have that many cards in hand already. And then you have that guidebook to pop. So, there's some cool cards, some cool little interactions you can do with Blurple. But let people keep saying it's dead because I don't want it to be meta anymore. I like where it's at.
Staying in the little side hatch. And you mentioned that about that guidebook. Was there any fear or panic in your heart or in your decision making process about that Clarabelle clumsy gas? We mentioned that throwing that guidebook out there. Would you have any fear of a Clarabelle coming through and using her unique ability to go ahead and get rid of that guidebook before you can gain some value from it?
I mean, not on curve, but like late game, sure they could do that. But if they're paying 3 ink to use their Clarabelle effect and not doing a whole lot to board, I still think I'm going to top deck better than them. So
okay.
it's like, I mean, sure they can do that. I don't really mind. But I need to be able to empty the cards I draw. So I'd rather take that risk than draw the cards immediately and have a lot of cards in hand to where I can get blown out by like you're welcome and big Clarabelle. You know.
Well said. I like the thought. See, we're always thinking. Look, see, these players know what they're talking about.
Yeah, we discussed that while playing, and it's just like, well, we play it now. We have less cards, so if he does play a Clarabelle here, we don't have 2 cards in hand. We can play it, activate, and then maybe ink a card and play a card that we draw, and then maintain a low card the next turn by keeping it in hand, or by playing it, or we keep it in hand and do a similar. Kind of just bases on what your curve is, what you expect to play, and whether or not you expect another small Clarabelle. I had said that I am a very conservative player, and with my luck, they top deck the third or
they always have
one. So I would have kept it in hand, mostly because of how much ink both players had. If he had less ink, I would have played it, because then it's like, oh, if you do this, it's your turn, right? But it's tough to say. It definitely worked out for you, and the chances of him having it are not that bad. And as you said, it's just like, yeah, if that's what you're doing, then perfect.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought. And I mean, obviously, game 1, David didn't get to ink to ramp on 2, so that was unfortunate, you know. And he still made it super close. I was sweating after the combo. But yeah, this matchup is very weird. I will say the one thing about Blurple too, just because I know you're going to go to David and talk about blue-green a little bit, but the thing I like the most about this deck is it's not like, all right, I'm just going to play these big dudes and sing star anymore. There's a lot more decision-making. And I missed that. Like, I hated Blurple last set. I'm glad it's more... There's a little more nuance to it. Obviously, you're ramping on 2. You want to play a 4-drop on 3. But there's still a lot more nuance to the deck that I like.
Yeah, you have to be in tune with the meta, too, yeah.
We kind of lost a lot of it when Rapunzel rotated out. You didn't have Rapunzel traps, so paying attention combat didn't matter as much. But then Blurple kind of gave you Bell to do that. But at the same time, you couldn't really play around it as much as people would expect. But Cat does open up a lot of different lanes and such. A lot of play patterns that can vary it up, different paths to choose, right? Instead of just there always being one way, it can be like, well, I could do this, and that gives this and this and this. And the fact that that's the choice allows more skill expression and maybe seeing something that others might not have seen to give you an edge. And I personally like that, and I think a lot of people like that.
Agreed.
Same. Me included. I enjoy it. We're always going to enjoy that a little bit of player autonomy is what I'm calling it. But I thought the match was great. But you were not alone. David was also in the building holding it down. And David, again, it did not work out for you this time. And I always like to ask from these players, because we use this ICL as not only as a way to promote the game and get to know players, but just as a learning tool for newer players that may be watching. So just from your perspective, outside of missing ramp on 2, because clearly that's going to be a huge setback for your strategy and what you're trying to do, is there anything from your perspective that you think you could have done better, or what may have gone wrong in that situation?
No, I mean, actually, game 1 ended up being a ton of fun. Even though I missed ramp there, I was able to use Mikey's aggression kind of against him to get back in the game. You know, he knows I miss ramp, he's just going to quest out and do the best he can to finish the game quickly, because typically if you miss ramp, it's going to be, especially on the draw, it's going to be a huge uphill battle. But no, be able to get that one combo off, and then I think I wasted all my good top decks in game 1 trying to get back in that game. That I didn't have much going for me game 2 there. I didn't have like a really good play on 5 or 6 ink there, so A few do nothing turns against Blurple doesn't pan out well because Blurple's just got so much tempo, so much card draw, and be able to just drop those Hades after Hades. It's a tough go for any deck right now. I think Blurple's a really good deck right now.
I would concur with that mildly, but I still think that Sapphire and Emerald has a position in its metagame, especially in a version like your deck. I thought some of the tech cards that you had in there, you saw the Max Goof that you're playing, you have the Mother Knows Best, you have the You're Welcome. I like the more of a song variety. And I think Luke was mentioning that some of the Emerald and Sapphire players are starting to reduce the amount of Hades, the Infernal Schemers that they're playing in favor of some of the more tempo-oriented style cards like the Basil and also the Mother Knows Best. Is that something you discover in your deck building, or is there any other text, or can you just talk about some of the other texts that you have in your deck to help maybe add to the consistency and overall power of the strategy?
Yeah, sure. I was a big fan of this deck. I saw this is Kurt Spice's list from
Okay.
I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. You're very, very close. I only changed the one card because as much as I like Bend to Your Will, I'd rather just have the one more Hades in there. I think I've been a big fan of Max Goof right from my the first week it came out there. I think it's got a lot of utility, especially in a deck like this, where I was thinking maybe I was going to run up against Ghosty this week in Game 3, and if he was on dog, something like Max Goof works really, really well. So I just think that that kind of tech card right now is going to catch a few people off guard because they're not going to be ready for you playing a couple, or you can even do almost 3 spells in a turn sometimes, right? So.
Right.
Definitely an interesting way to take this deck, and I thought I'd give it a try today.
Nice. Okay, we were able to see a little bit of that, and I thought it was nice, man. I really enjoyed the match. I think both you gentlemen played super clean, at least from my perspective. I learned a lot, as I always do. I'll always do when I'm watching you guys play.
I mean, they could have drawn ramp better.
Yeah.
Come on, Luke.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. Did we freeze? Oh, sorry. We're good. No, I thought we had froze, but again, I thought the match was great. I thought it was super well played. I thought you guys' decks were both built in a super solid and cohesive manner. But really quickly, gentlemen, as we start to wrap up the show, I just want to ask you guys: is there any? We'll start with you, David, first. Are you playing any tournaments coming up soon? And if you were, would you consider taking the deck that you played tonight?
Yeah, so the only tournament I'm playing, because we're going into we got Christmas and stuff coming up with the kids, so we're of course going to Richmond. Right now, I think Richmond's kind of wide open. I could see myself playing Blurple, maybe even get some Blue Steel or something along those lines. If there's less Blue Steel hate out there. I
Not be
like
Blue
it.
Steel hate.
What's that?
I said there'll never not be Blue Steel hate.
That is true, and that's why I think a deck like Blurple, where you got a good matchup into Purple Steel, you got a good matchup into Ruby and Ruby Purple, and I think it's just a good pick right now. So kudos to Mikey getting it done here today.
Absolutely. What about you, Mikey? I know you're on the grind. I saw you on the Oviedo Bay tournament down in Versus game on stream the other day.
Oh man, that was brutal.
Hey, you know what?
It was a brutal game.
It was, but still, it was good. It's good to see you down there playing and getting back in the groove. But do you have any tournaments that you have coming up here in the next couple of days?
Yeah, I'm gonna be at CCS. I'll be at Charlie's.
Okay.
Not sure what I'm gonna play yet. We'll see. I've been playing. A ton,
I don't know what I'm gonna play. Plays Blurple.
I don't know exactly what 60 I'm gonna play. I'll put it that way.
Which
I don't know exactly
version of the Blurple deck you're gonna play?
Yeah. And then I'll be at PPG, the Pro Play Summit in Orlando.
Okay.
And then
nice.
I'm actually out for months. My wife is due in January, so I will not be at Richmond.
Oh, congratulations, man! Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I'm saving the golden Mickeys for you guys out there, so I figured I'd take that one.
Right on, man.
I mean, depending on the due date, you were supposed to win that golden Mickey right before your child was born.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
I'm sure an 8-month-old woman doesn't need help in the day-to-day life while you can play cards all day. I'm sure she would.
Obviously,
understand.
You show up and then you win it for the kid who is being born, and you name the kid Mickey instead of Mikey. There you go.
Oh,
You,
Yeah.
ooh,
Hey.
you owe
Mickey
me. You owe me.
Jr.
Honestly,
We
if
like
if
that.
I did that, even if I won the Mickey, it would still not be the most expensive piece of paper I received that day. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah,
Right. All right. No,
agree.
no. But seriously,
Oh, I love it.
congratulations to you for that, and congratulations to you for winning this. But gentlemen, as always, it's such a pleasure and treat to broadcast these games and cover you guys' great gameplay. And I really do appreciate it. As Restand is going to come out tonight and get that all impressive victory, but it is not over for the Flower Farm. They will boot and they will rally. I'm certain they will come back stronger than ever. But David, on that note, we'll start with you. Any special shout outs that you want to give as we begin to close out the show?
Yeah, I mean the normal shoutouts. We got our buddy JDRR, always tinkering away. Kudos to him, always putting on a great community we have at Flower Farm. Hey, shout out Mikey. You know, this is a guy I chatted with back in set 5 when Blurple was pretty well a bad deck. And I know I played it, won a bunch of set champs with it, and I always pick Mikey's brain. So shout out to him to keeping it alive, and JDR for keeping it alive as well. And we'll see how this goes in the next couple months here.
Nice. Okay. Much love. Much love. And to you, Mikey, oh, getting it done, putting your team back on the map, restand, standing tall here in the ICL for a nice feature match victory. Anything you want
Yeah.
to say to the people at home?
Yeah, first off, appreciate that, Dave. That kind of stuff never gets old to me. When people say that, it's just like a shock to me, and I really appreciate you saying that. Also, the Flower Farm. I mean, I'm in there. It's an awesome community of people where it's bouncing off ideas. I know Aaron got scared to play me tonight, but that's all right. Maybe next time for him.
Ouch.
But as far as shoutouts go, obviously the team Restand. I think they get tired of me sending deck lists because I'm a big tweaker guy. Like I like to add a couple more cards here or there, and I just keep sending them, and no one says anything, and I just still keep sending them. So yeah, shout out to them for having to put up with that. And lastly, I do want to plug my teammate Ray. I know he didn't have the best luck there last game on the red purple, but he's been killing it. He's the only reason I think that matchup can be sometimes hard for Blurple. I know he didn't get to show it off too much that last match, but he just put a Medify out there explaining all the details on that red purple. So I want to shout that out as well, and that's
Nice.
all I got.
Right on, man. Right on. Much love. Shouting out the teammates, getting loose, getting busy, and we appreciate you guys' effort as always, man. I want to thank you guys both for your participation here in the ICL and come back stronger than ever. I expect to see you guys making deep runs in this event as we are all the way embroiled in an ICL adventure. But gentlemen, we're hopping back in the booth to close the show. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thanks a
See
lot.
y'all.
You two have a great
Appreciate
night.
it.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Dave.
All right.
I'm cooking. I don't know why.
He's
I
back.
should I stop muting here? Can I just get away with not muting here? I should I have to mute here.
So, if it's just me and you don't have to mute here because I can deafen the control room thing.
Okay.
But if it's you and Garrick,
Anyone
you
else.
should mute because then they'll have to hear you twice while they're in the Discord. And in
Gotcha.
there.
Cool. I liked it, man. What a nice match. What a nice ICL night we had. It was really good. I enjoyed this one. This was a clean match. The players were playing so clean. There was not a lot of this and that. Everybody finished in time. The matches were all great. Everyone is.
Yes,
I mean,
very
everyone knows
crisp.
what the hell they're talking about in this league, man. I'm so impressed with the players that we have here. It's nice.
And I mean that was important matchup for Restand. I don't think they got two. Oh, they did get 2 out, so they only got 4 points, but that puts them up to 28. Lorcana Loungers, I think. No, who was off this week? It was the Sunflower Illumineers had their week off, so they're gonna take a hit in the standings. Sadly, that Definitely going to go out of my way for next season to not have an odd amount of teams. I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
this will give an off week. This will be nice for the teams. It'll be nice.
No.
But then in retrospect, having to deal with rankings that get skewed because like one team just has an extra game and we're doing it on points, there will be a few changes. I was enjoying this technique or style of doing points versus matches just to give an extra reason to play the third game. But I think I selected the wrong one that I initially wanted anyways, because kind of what I want is going to be what we're going to do next round anyways, and it's what the players wanted, where we're going to be based off matches, but then the highest tiebreaker is based on set wins, and so the set which would therefore make the third one more relevant. It would change the standings a little bit here, but at the same time, the players knew what we were doing from the beginning, and it's still like, in my mind, it might actually be a higher like way to show skill and skill expression, especially if it's just like whoever's on the play wins, because then like, oh, you just won 2 out of the 3, but it's like, you know, sometimes getting that 2-0 or snagging that third game is really important. So if you can get that 2-0, you're knocking 1 point away from your opponent, so they're going to go down in ranks while you maintain velocity. And that's like really important here, as we'll notice that the teams that are at the top of the ranks, they get a bunch of sweeps because that's 6 points each week, you know, instead of just getting 5, or, you know, if you lose, or getting 4 or 5 if you win, or if you lose, getting 4 under. But the fact that you can lose and get 4 and win and get 4, players do not like that. And I can see why. It is a little frustrating there to win and still have a tie. And sadly, there's not a way for me in the current way to still it's too late by now anyways, but it would be nice to be able to give a bonus point as well on top of winning the match and the thing, like winning the game and the match. So it's like you'd get 2 points for winning, but then 1 point. So
look, I got to bring you back, man. You're in the weeds, man. We're in the weeds.
It's in the end. It's in the end. If you're watching now, you've already hit the action. I'm gonna chat for like 5 more minutes. This is me getting back at JDZ here for doing the interviews. I'm sitting here and he's just like, ask 1,000 great questions.
I did. We talked about this, Luke. I asked a question and I didn't say anything, and you didn't ask the question, Luke. So I'm gonna keep.
There was that hilarious moment where you thought like, the screen froze, and I'm just like, is he gonna say anything?
Stopped. I was like, are we froze? You didn't ask a question.
I was gonna push it to doing shout outs, but like I was like doing something else at the same time, and was like, did he just ask shout outs? Did he just ask shout outs?
Luke, you can't come at me saying I'm hogging the interview if I give.
Oh no, I was teasing when I say that. I don't. No. That's fine. I would interrupt you if I needed to on the interview.
Okay. I do hog the interview. That's what I do, man. I hog the interviews. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna stop. I try to stop, but then I give a break. And Garrett did it too. Garrett did the same thing. You did it, and Garrett did it.
Well, it's because you talk for so long. We just days off. We're like, oh, what's that?
You can't days off. Lock in, man. Lock in. No, man.
Like I said, this weekend is gonna be a blast because we're gonna have some vamping time to do. We normally don't get a vamp when we're doing the ICL because it's just like the next round they're ready as soon as they're waiting on us. Normally we vamp too much in the little bit of time we have, right?
Yeah, I love it. It's always fun. Look, you know, I'm just busting your chops, man. But it was a great night. I'm looking forward to the next one. It's going to be back on next Tuesday, I believe, and Wednesday. Oh, yeah. I'm not certain who the match is going to be. The feature matches. I think we're at the point of the tournament where you pick based on who's hot.
Well, I'm trying not to showcase the same team every week, but it's the end of the season, so I would like to showcase the teams that are doing well or matches that are very important. So I'm pretty sure next week's match, if I remember correctly, was going to be the Slab Sharks versus Illuminati.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
Assuming that the week after that will be World Class Cards versus Incredibles for Division A. But we don't know for sure. It really depends on where the World Class Cards is in the standings after this next week. Because it is their week off. So they're going to go from second place and drop down to 5th or 6th. As I was ranting, I'm not going to jump down on that point rant again.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to make you lose there. But so that is probably a really important match. And Incredibles is currently in 6th place. And as you know, and viewers may or may not know, the top 6 of each division make it to the top 12 playoff. The top 2 automatically make it into the top 8. So the first round of the playoff is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th players all playing against each other, and they are playing across the division. So the first round, so the first round of the top 12 are teams who have not played against each other at all getting to play, and it is single elimination. And we are going to be changing. There's not a public spot with the standings yet. We'll tweet those out here in the next day or two, Punisher. There's definitely some admin stuff that I need to take care of for the next season to get a better showing of standings and stuff. We were hoping to get a website out this one, but I have a lot on my plate and I'm bad at my job, obviously. I digress.
I don't agree, but you know what? I think you're doing too much, Luke. You're doing the most, and we all appreciate it.
I'm doing a lot.
We appreciate it, the effort.
Well, thank you.
It is. If you guys appreciate it too, man, make sure you leave a follow and a subscription if you can into the Wonder Twitch and tune in to the ICL. Tell your friends about it too, and let them know we're out here getting loose and active out here on these ICL Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the other card games are crushing us in Twitch viewers. And I don't know, like, okay, I do know it's because we don't have digital client.
Very true.
Even when we had Pixelborn, but that wasn't officially sponsored. So that's the thing, is if we had an officially backed digital client, Twitch numbers would be insane, I think.
Probably.
But it makes sense to an extent. If you play video games, you're more likely to watch video games. People who play the card game aspect might not watch it on Twitch as much. It's a little bit of a different linkage, but it's still great. Massive thanks to the viewers we do have. We appreciate you. I mean, it's why we do this, is for you. We do like listening to our own voices as well, but
that's not true. I mute myself. I can't take it.
Well, okay. I mean, listening to myself speak as in, like, right now I'm speaking and I enjoy it, but I'm not listening. Like, I don't have a reverb for the same reason I can't stand the sound of my voice.
Okay.
On recording sounding of my voice. Yeah. So we're probably going to be doing Slab Sharks versus Illuminati. The Slab Sharks are our #1 seed, and Illuminati is our 4th. And if Slab Sharks knock them out really hard, there's a possibility they don't get in the top 7. But there's a pretty big gap between 6th and 7th place. There is a 5-point gap between the Incredibles and the Ink Inc.
Oh, wow.
But the Slab Sharks had their week off finally, and it let a lot of teams catch up because they were very far ahead. But now they're not. Like, Ink Knights are only 3 points behind them.
Man, you gotta make we gotta make some graphics or something. Put this out on another stream, and just there's some good information. People like to follow the standings and following their best teams and favorites. I think that could be a nice little tweet or something. I don't know, man. I don't know how to market anything, but I'm terrible.
Maybe tomorrow, if you're feeling up to it, you can stop on my stream. We'll talk about it, or maybe. Oh wait, no, it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
Maybe Friday. Maybe Friday morning or Friday night, depending. One of us can join the other person's stream and we can talk about it and go over some stuff. That kind of chit chat stream is long overdue, I think.
Okay.
Maybe I can feed you some information and you and Garrett can talk about it weekly as well, or something like that.
That'd be nice. Like on the on This Is Not a Podcast on
the Not a
on
Podcast,
Tuesday.
Not a review show.
Not anything. But Luke, to your point, man, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So if you are celebrating that holiday, make sure you do it in a safe and concise manner. I know people are probably partying right now because this, Luke, I learned, is one of the biggest party days of the year. The day before Thanksgiving is a party day. So I'm going to be partying at the movie theater because I'm about to go watch that new Zootopia with my family.
Get those promos, a whole set of promos right there.
You already know what time it is. And I'll be back here with you on Sunday, man.
People aren't challenging you.
Oh, it's happening. I'm going to get those promos tonight.
Yeah, they're not challenging you. You're
I'm
gonna draw a
crashing out.
card, and they're not challenging.
I'm gonna get the whole playset. The whole family's in the building, so I'm getting 5 copies of the card.
Ooh,
Oh yeah,
got an extra for the cube or the
Yep.
trade binder.
probably for a giveaway. You know me, I'm always giving something.
Oh
away.
yeah, true. And I also know you're probably gonna see the movie more than once, so you're probably gonna have 10 promos to get rid of.
No, I'll probably just the one. I'll probably just the whole family. We're all gonna go tonight. Immediately after this, I'm gonna go get dressed and hop down in the car and drive over there. And
All
go to
right,
the movie.
well, that's oh, I should choose the outcome. Restand one, I think, that game. So we'll give out those points. We're gonna set up a raid so we can get you out of here, get you those promos. Thanks again to everyone who stuck around for my mindless chitter chatter at the end and JD's amazing commentary about it.
Shut up, Luke. We got you do it to me. We got to bring each other out because sometimes I can go on my little tirades, and we spin each other's totem, man. Like sometimes I got to bring you back to reality. You have to bring me back to reality, and that's why we work. Okay, but it was a great
We
night.
work so well together. It's so fun.
I love it, Luke, and I love you. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving, brother, and enjoy
You
all
too.
your snacks and treats, and don't gain too much weight. I know I'm gonna try not to, but it's probably impossible.
It's oh man, it's yeah. The rough thing for me is I have 2 Thanksgiving things, but it's at 10 a.m. and noon. So I don't even get a real I just get to pick lightly at the first one. You know, just 2 of them and I get just the best items because I can't overfill in the first one, go to the next one, they're gonna have better food.
You got to crush and then take a plate. Take the to-go plate is the key. That's the key. That's the path to victory.
I was thinking about messaging Katie and Sky, local Lorcana friends who are close, and being like, all right, both of you grab a bunch of leftovers, and then that night, let's come over, have a couple of beverages, and then munch on a bunch of different Thanksgiving leftovers and critique how terrible our family's cooking is in Nebraska.
Oh, God, don't do that. No.
All right. But we're about to raid over to our friend Meyer Madness. So say hi there. And you all have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you this Sunday. Bye.